Comic Timing is member supported by listeners like you over at patreon.com/comic timing. We thank you very much for your continued support of the show. $1 is all it takes to get some behind the scenes access, including some diary entries, occasional articles, occasional extra video, early releases when we can throw them your way, and more. And we thank you very much once again for that continued support over at patreon.com/comic timing. One-time donations are available as well. PayPal.me/IAM Sci-Fi if you're not a Patreon person or you just want to give me money. Either way, thanks. Thanks all! This is why Raph should not have Lego Batman. Hey there, folks. My name's Ian Levinstein, and welcome to episode 286 of Comic Timing. It doesn't matter how many times I look at the artwork, I'm always going to forget what episode number it is until I actually say it. Episode 286 of Comic Timing. Once again, back-to-back previews episodes. Unfortunately, Murd is unavailable tonight as he is busy being at a play. So in his stead, the return of Mr. Raph Suhu to the previews episode. And God help me. God help me.
Hello, timers of comics. It's me again. I have returned.
Yes. Timers of comics. That's absolutely what fans of this show are called. They have always been called that. They have for years. I'm walking around a convention and I'll just run into random timers of comics that are just happy to see me. You know.
Shout out to Bob Braytall.
Timing comics, baby. Yep. And by the way, we are. I know that the anniversary episode was supposed to have already happened, but what a shock! In typical fashion of this show, it ain't happened yet. But we do have it scheduled to be occurring at the end of the month. Once I have a specific date, I will let you all know. But we're going to be timing it around the release of the Supergirl movie, so we can have it partially be a Supergirl reaction show with the anniversary included in it as well. Once we do have information on that, I will post a Zoom link into the Comic Timing fan group and all that jazz, and we will make sure that everybody is able to attend, who can attend. So gold team, blue team, hopefully smattering of both of those, and any fans of the show that want to attend and participate as well. So please do stay tuned for that. One other thing of note that's previews related, and you may have noticed this, Raph, in the catalogs that I sent you. Oni is now officially Penguin Random House exclusive as of this month. So yes, Oni has their own catalog. They will no longer be listed in the Lunar catalog. They are now with Penguin Random House, and that is going to be your main way of getting Oni comics. So we will have them as part of today's breakdown. It's just going to be its own stuff and not inside of the Lunar. Because as things are fractured, it just becomes more and more catalogs. More and more catalogs. Remember when there was when there was just one, and we were like, man, we can't wait until there's more than just one, and now there's 8?
Yeah, and we all complained about the monopoly that was Diamond.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know. I don't know if things are better or worse.
I think
I'm a little too out of the loop to know.
I think in some ways they're better. I think there are definitely more means for distribution now, and I think that the indie distribution that comes out of stuff like massive indies is helping significantly for those small fries that used to get lost in the shuffle of the Diamond catalog. Like basically, yeah. they have an umbrella now. Like they're able to actually like get a little bit more publicity than they would have gotten under Diamond inside of the Lunar catalog. It's just more keeping track of like what's what and when's when. That's a little bit more of a pain in the ass here, but most people don't have to do that. The only people who really have to do that are, people who have pull lists that are then letting their shop know, or the shops themselves, which, for the regular consumer, we go to a shop and we buy shit, or we wait for it to be out digitally. Like that's kind of just where we are as a society right now. So. And on that note,
I will say Lunar has done a pretty good job with the smaller stores or smaller publishers.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think with their catalog, they've done a better job. Like it's actually kind of way easier to scroll this thing than it was the Diamond catalog. And it's not like there's no quote unquote back of the book here. There's just publishers.
Oh, yeah.
A through Z, like that's it. So that I appreciate a lot. Speaking of which, we will be starting with Ablaze this month out of the Lunar catalog, and a reminder that the Sumerian Zuthal of the Dusk. This is the second issue available. So we talked about issue 1 last month with me and Murd, but any of you Conan fans. There's Conan the Barbarian, and then there's the Sumerian, and they're the same, but they're different. So Conan the Sumerian is out of Ablaze, and you can get the second issue of that on page 4. It's the same, but different, you see. Also, Valhalla looks like it would be right up your alley, Raph. I don't know if you missed the first issue when it was solicited last month. But this in general... Adis gets negotiations rolling between the branches of the God Giant family tree, all with a little help from a sad sack, a cursed captain, and a reanimated bartender. Then we meet Hell, a sexy little lady with a part to play in the whole debacle via a prisoner exchange, but what seems a promising conclusion to a successful mediation ends with surprise bad consequences. So it's like Law and Order Valhalla edition.
That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yep. Written by Ben Fisher, art by Pedro Andreu on page 6 here. Andreu. The hardcover of The Art of Zombie Makeout Club by Peter Richardson is also available here on Out of Ablaze. So if you want that, there's also a deluxe edition there on pages 9 and 10. And Volume 1 talks some manga here. Blitz Volume 1 by Cedric Biscay and Harumo Sanazaki with artwork by Daitaro Nishihara. This is going back to print for Blitz Volume 1. As seen in the pages of Shonen Jump, Blitz is a new shonen manga exploring the elite world of chess. So we've seen Go, we've seen tennis, we've seen basketball, we've seen baseball, and now here is a chess manga for any of you sports enthusiasts out there, available to check out here on page 12.
And as far as I know, chess, especially blitz style chess, is really popular with the young folk. A lot of so there's a couple of streamers that do chess, and they all do blitz style.
So it's a specific style of chess. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically speedrun chess.
Oh, okay.
You only get a certain amount of time, and so if you run out of time, you lose.
Okay.
And it's played by the highest level players usually.
Are you playing multiple games at once, or is it just
it's just one?
I got it.
It's just like you get the timer, and then you get like a certain. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of chess streams, but the general idea is you have X amount of time to play to beat the person, and if you don't do it, you automatically lose.
Got it. Well, this in general feels very Hikaru no Go to me. Only chess. So I don't know. I don't know if the ghostly champion behind him is coaching him like it was in Hikaru no Go, but it sure as hell does look like that from this first volume here. So do check that out here on page 12.
You haven't made it, Kimba.
I mean Simba.
Sorry, my mistake.
This is CNN. Happy Land Volume 2 by Shingo Honda. This is the conclusion of Happy Land, a unique and brutal tale by mangaka Shingo Honda, all about the Komiyo family, which are trapped in Happy Land, an amusement park with dark intent and violence methods. So nice horror amusement park situation here on page 19, second of 2 volumes now available. And in we go to Abrams. And Lofi Girl Colors to Chill To. Experience the magic of Lofi Girl, where creativity, relaxation, and global community converge. This is...
actually, that's the Lo-Fi Girl.
Oh, Lo-Fi!
The Lo-Fi. Lo-Fi Beats to Study To videos on YouTube.
God.
That's her.
God. I sh- the fact that my brain even went to Lofi instead of lo-fi, like, you know what it was? I read the word Loki and just inserted an F.
I was thinking, well, I don't know if you saw it, but the newest God of War got announced, and it's God of War Laufey.
Yes,
And
yes.
Deborah Ann Woll's gonna be the lead character.
Yeah, the spin-off basically of the main God of War franchise. Well,
Yeah,
th-
formula
this is
is a
like
gelatinous cube, I think.
yes, indeed. Yep. Which is kind of the role that he was made for.
Really.
Yep. Coloring books are a groundbreaking extension of the cult YouTube channel and social media phenomenon. Each book immerses users in gentle, soulful settings, pairing beautiful artwork with iconic, chill playlists. And that's what you'll get out of these Lo-Fi Girl Colors to Chill To coloring books on page 27. Go past most of Abrams this month until we get to My First Pal Goofy. Meet Gorsh in this colorful and collectible board book featuring original comic book art by legendary Disney artist Paul Murray, going way back in time into the history of Goofy's comic book exploits and adventures to get a nice board book for the kiddos. So if you want to know more about the history of Goofy, the character, you can find that out in My First Disney Pal Goofy on page 40.
More kids' books.
Welcome to Smellville, Garbage Pail Kids Book 1 by R.L. Stine. R.L. Stine getting into the Garbage Pail Kids. Did not see that one on my bingo card, but yeah, it's happening.
Yep. Hidden to left field from that one.
Yep. Interior illustrations by Jeff Zapata for this particular Garbage Pail Kids thing. And Murd and I very much are not fans of Garbage Pail Kids and have said so many times, as the Garbage Pail Kids were all over Diamond Previews for a little while there. But now R.L. Stine's taking a crack at it here on page 49. In we go to Ahoy. Most stuff is ongoing on there, so out we go of Ahoy, and in we go to Archie, which is the 85th anniversary of Betty and Veronica fashion pages. They showcase their best and brightest outfits. Betty and Veronica have been synonymous with fashion since they first touched down in Riverdale. This collection of fashion pages, one-page comics, and style-centric stories showcase just why they've been icons for 85 years, just in time for Paris Fashion Week on page 55. And then a facsimile edition of Laugh, which is the Archie funny book, essentially. Laugh issue 166, faithfully reprinted in a full facsimile edition, and they are dreaming of the Beatles in this particular book here, right around the time of Revolver in 1966. So, Beatles, Veronica, and Betty action on page 57. And I love that Archie's.
The requisite Beatles tribute covers.
Yep, Matt Talbot did a really good one there. Rex Lindsay did one of them, crossing just like the Beatles did. Some good stuff indeed. And then we're already getting Halloween stuff, even though
it has begun.
I know. Yep. The Archie Comics Digest Halloween special on page 59 with a little bit of Sabrina in there for good measure. So in we go to Asylum and Ted Sakura with art by Evil Gucci. Whether or not it's actually pronounced evil, it is in this situation because it's literally a horror book. So Punchline and the Vaudevillains versus Violante. It's back as an imprint under Asylum Press, Hero Tomorrow Comics. And this issue is loaded with extras and an easy entry point for all. They forgot the word "for" in there. Don't worry, I put it in there for them. One of the Vaudevillains committed a murder in Mexico, unbeknownst to the rest of the team. However, it's not so easy to kill a mystic healer. And now Violante the Undead has returned with an unquenchable vengeance. So do check out Punchline there out of Asylum and Hero Tomorrow Comics on page 61. Already into AWA territory here. And AWA. This is an original graphic novel by Jeremy Holt with Felipe Cunha titled Gatsby, with a foreword by Billy Porter. When middle-class Singaporean student Lu Zhao is invited to spend the summer on Long Island with his rich cousin, Tommy, before attending Columbia University in the fall, his assimilation into the opulent American lifestyle straps him into a collision course fueled by designer drugs, sex, deceit, and murder. Set in present-day Long Island, Gatsby reimagines F. Scott Fitzgerald's classic novel as an LGBTQ-tinged multicultural thriller for the internet age. This sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah.
This is right up my alley here. I love a modern reinterpretation of a classic, and we're getting that here from a great writer like Jeremy Holt. So
This might be my second favorite. This is my second favorite Gatsby reimagination after Gatsby versus Godzilla.
Yes. I figured
Godzilla Masterpiece Theater.
I figured that's where your brain was going. Yeah. Much better than the Broadway show, which was only so-so.
Right.
But Jeremy Jordan was in it, and that was the best part of it. So,
like the artwork, Jeremy Jordan.
Supergirl's Jeremy Jordan.
True.
As we go a little bit further down, Volume 1 of Hotel, with an extra L, by John Leese and Dalabar Tilagic. This collects the first 4 issues of that. You won't find it on any map, but if you happen to be driving down Route 66 in the dead of night, you're truly desperate for shelter, sanctuary, or secrecy, you might see a battered sign on the side of the road. The Perot Courts Hotel, where the tormented make their last stand with the demons that haunt them, where many check in, but few check out, and you can never, ever leave. Welcome to the Hotel Hotel Volume 1 on page 88. Now into Bad Idea. Let's see if there are any good ideas in Bad Idea. A lot of also rans in Bad Idea this month. A lot of stuff that's already been shown in one way or another. So let's get further.
A lettered preview, though.
Oh, yes. So you can read it before you read it. Here we go. So this is issue 2 of Warbird. We mentioned it last month. I just want to reiterate here. Alex Maleev and Isad Ribic. That's all you need.
Man, what a team.
Yep. Warbird number 2, very much in a Bond-esque scenario here, as high-end repo man Cole Norton is taken on a new gig. He's been hired by the U.S. government to sneak into Russia to steal one of their bleeding-edge next-generation fighter jets, the deadly Spearhead, in exchange for a cool $50 million. General premise behind Warbird there on page 114. Bad Idea always has all the previews. All of them.
What's a giant kaiju fight? That looks kind of cool.
Yeah, that's the 3rd issue of their Megalith series. Megalith, the Olympus Saga.
I guess I'm waiting for the trade on that one by default.
Yep, you're going to whift that one. And don't forget, Realligator. The first appearance of a never-before-seen monster, written by Robert Venditti and Brockton McKinney, with art by Mannix Abrera. Witness the hunter become the hunted in the next hair-raising chapter of a groundbreaking, all-new horror universe from the twisted minds of Mannix Abrera and Robert Venditti. Then an arsenal of top-of-the-line weaponry at his fingertips and a crack team of expert guides at his beck and call, no beast is a match for the man they call the Hunter. That is, until he finds himself face-to-face with an ancient creature deep in the heart of the African savannah, one thought to be a myth and legend. The hunter will soon find out that no one can withstand the unforgiving jaws of the undead, and no man can escape the Realligator!
Bum, bum. Oh.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like my type of
a lot of
horror
fun.
right there. Yeah. Yep. That, of course, was on page 142 of the catalog. And as we get past Bad Idea, let's get a little bit further.
Oh, wait. Go back up.
Oh, yes,
I think
of
this
course.
is Pizza Detective.
Ah, yes, it is.
I meant to talk about.
Yeah, Hank
'cause
Howard,
they've released it a little bit
Pizza
already.
Detective, The Fair Play at #1 by Robert Venditti and David Latham.
Yeah, they've already done a miniseries and a series, and I think they already did like another one shot before this.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, I mean, you know, we're New Yorkers, and you know, we like pizza.
Oh, of course, yeah. And,
you know,
and here on page 155 is the first appearance of Hank's partner in Pizza Detective. When it comes to taking down Hollywood's worst criminals, Detective Hank Howard works alone. When two crazed criminals decide to go full GTA and hijack the model for Big Caligula's shining new fleet of food trucks, all bets are off. For the first time, Hank must team up with Big Caligula's Southeast Regional Manager, Barb Knox, to recover the stolen whip. Together, they'll go full throttle in a high-speed pursuit of justice, facing down a barrage of bullets, high-octane explosions, and two pizza perps who are willing to do whatever it takes to get away clean.
totally bogus, dude.
Mm-hmm. Hank Howard, Pizza Detective, The Fair Play, here on page 155. Glad you pointed that out. Love mentioning me at Pizza Detective. And here's the Slice of Life trade paperback. So if you want to get earlier Pizza Detective stuff, that's available there for you on page 165.
I think I have the issues here somewhere from when they first solicited that series.
Yeah. I like it. It's got a little bit of a noir artwork style to it with the black and white, but also a little bit of fun thrown in there for good measure. All right. I think I can safely get out of Bad Idea now, if they ever stopped giving me pages. Dear Lord, that's a lot of stuff. All right, here we go. In we go to Chronicle. See if anything of note is in the Chronicle here.
Puzzles.
Yeah, a lot of their stuff is puzzles and art books. So not much there. And out of it we go into Clover Press for the 1961 collection of Dick Tracy. By Chester Gould. So if you're looking for a full year of Dick Tracy comic strips, they have you covered over at Clover Press on page 211. All of the year 1961 in collection. They are 160 pages, black and white. And of course, the orientation is in the horizontal style so that you can get the full length of each of these strips. Once again, they're on page 211. And on we go to DC. Now, mind you, this is starting off with Poison Ivy. So this is part of the Batman Bad Seeds event that's going to be taking place. This issue is a prelude to said situation. So page 216/1, depending on if you're reading the DC Connect on its own or if you're reading it inside of the Lunar catalog. But G. Willow Wilson, 47 issues of Poison Ivy. I love pointing it out that we've now gotten 47. We're approaching the 50th issue of a Poison Ivy series, Raph. Like,
amazing.
Who would have thought?
Right? Like, yeah. I think we're on like issue 200 of the Catwoman too.
Oh, yeah.
What a wild idea that of all the rogues, you know, well, to be honest with you, I think the Joker would be a hard to do an ongoing with, but that's another discussion for another time. But it's still very impressive that Poison Ivy's got 47. That's like 4 years almost.
And the fact that when you think about it, it's almost all of the female rogues of Batman's rogues gallery that have gotten these sort of books. Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Catwoman, like
and then you get Gotham City Sirens, which is all three of them together.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Well, G. Will Wilson continues to bring it home here with Gotham City is done with Mayor Pamela Isley. There's just one problem for everyone there. She's not done with them. The stage is set for the explosive new Batman line crossover, Bad Seeds, in this issue 47 here on page 1. And then we get a collaboration between Matt Fraction and G. Will Wilson on page 2 here with Batman Bad Seeds Sunset number 1. As Gotham City's new mayor, Pamela Isley, deserted by her allies, both political and arcane, is about to make a last-ditch power play that will leave Gotham decimated by daylight. Having already declared war on the Bat family and flooded the streets with his private paramilitarized police army, Commissioner Vandal Savage sees an opportunity to solve two problems at once. Storylines converge in Batman Bad Seeds, a Gotham City event spanning one long dark night in Gotham that threatens to turn the entire city into a hostile world of prehistoric plant life unlike anything on Earth for millennia, at a time when its greatest heroes are hunted and in hiding. Yeah, this sounds epic.
All I can say is, Rachel!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, of course. Absolutely.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Come on. Hold that. Hold that for a couple more pages at least. But yeah, page 2 here, Matt Fraction and G. Will Wilson, two of the best writers in the biz, joining together along with Giuseppe Camuncoli and Cliff Rathburn for this first one-shot here for Batman Bad Seeds on page 2/217. Like that Bad Seeds variant there.
Yeah. DCBS doesn't have anything available yet for order, so I haven't picked anything yet.
Got it. Well, now, if you want to say absolutely, you can.
Oh, absolutely. Look at this.
Thank you.
It's
absolutely
very Dark Knight Returns, I was going to say. The mutant versus the old Batman.
Oh, yeah. In a climactic showdown, Batman is forced to battle an unyielding enemy, and not just the Robins, but in himself. More than one dead character signals a call for help and a symbol of hopelessness as more friends become enemies. Here in the 23rd issue of Scott Snyder's Absolute Batman. Absolutely. Batman versus Batman on page 219/4. And then in Absolute Catwoman number 3, we get some Calico's action along with said Catwoman. And they come crashing into her plans. Scott Snyder and Che Grayson co-writing this along with Bengal on the artwork. I mean, who better to draw a Catwoman series than someone whose name is Bengal? Like, come on.
All right, true.
Yeah. I haven't checked out the Absolute Green Arrow yet, but I probably will, just to see what a horror bent on Green Arrow is like here. But we also get Absolute Solomon Grundy in this 4th issue of Absolute Green Arrow by Pornsack Pinchot, with artwork by the one and only Raphael Albuquerque to go along with that on page 220/5. I have a feeling it's going to be a very monstrous version of Solomon Grundy from the artwork here.
Oh, yeah. Name of the universe, Lee.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Good. Well done. Yeah. Page 220/5 for that. And 22nd issue of Absolute Superman here.
Yep, taking on Brainiac finally, who was introduced pretty early on, but he kind of was rising in the shadows slowly, and now we finally get this big battle showdown between the two of them.
Yep.
Looking forward
Brainiac.
to it.
Yep. Get Brainiac begins here, kicking off the march to a game-changing blockbuster issue 25. A couple of issues away from that here on page 6/221. In we go to Next Level one-shot number 1, as Jerry Duggan and Fernando Blanco here on page 9/224 bring us a Deadshot one-shot. uncovers a conspiracy that will change everything. As Jerry Duggan tells a tale of a John gone sideways, a father and his daughter, and a web of super-powered lies that stretches throughout the entire DC Next Level cast of characters and points the direction to war on the horizon. Epic issue tells you everything you need to know about what's next for Next Level if you survive the experience. Really liking the Next Level stuff so far. We're supposedly supposed to be having a Legion of Superheroes on the horizon as well, out of Next Level. So sometime within the next month or two, we'll probably see that solicited.
Yep. Hopefully they have a good team attached.
I hope so too. 6th issue of Batwoman by Greg Rucka and Jeff Spokes here on page 11/226, also part of Next Level. Broken by Alice's death, Kate Kane was left in pieces. How did the fall that claimed her sister's life lead to a rebirth in Pedalon? And what does it mean for the future? Witness the truth of what happened that night in Gotham as Batwoman's DC Next Level journey continues in a special issue drawn by Jeff Spokes. So, love that Rucka's back on the character of Batwoman after all these years, and you get more of that here on page 11/226. And I cannot wait to read The Dead Man. Like having the Ice Cream Man crew together for a Dead Man story in the DC universe, like it just seems like a match made in heaven. And this is the 3rd issue of that with W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Marazzo along for the ride.
Yeah, I can't wait for. I am going to wait for the trade, but I also can't wait to check this one out. It looks so good.
Yep, it really does. And then Jeff Lemire's Fury of Firestorm gets to its 5th issue here as we get both Firehawk and Hawkman along for the ride with Firestorm himself here on page 12/227. Down we go into the main Batman universe. Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez. 6 assassins, 1 city, countless ways to die. 6 of the world's deadliest killers have descended on Gotham City at once. But who hired them and who's the target? Surely it can't be Batman. As the Cape Crusader races to uncover who sets this deadly plan in motion, the late Alfred Pennyworth provides a gift from beyond the grave with the arrival of a brilliant new ally to the Bat family at a time when it needs one most. So we'll find out more about this new ally in issue 12. Already 12 issues in to Matt Fraction's Batman run here on page 229/14. Wonder Woman issue 36, Champion of the Amazons. Stephanie Williams stepping into the driver's seat of Wonder Woman for this issue, as the tale of Diana's origin continues as she enters the contest, where only one Amazon emerges victorious and is granted passage to man's world as Wonder Woman. The fate of Themyscira hangs in the balance as their princess finds herself at a crossroads, much like her own daughter, as she prepares to take down the matriarch once and for all. Stephanie Williams and Clayton Henry. Great team for Wonder Woman issue 36.
I wonder if this is long term or if it's just a step in.
I think it's a step in. I'm pretty sure Tom's off doing other stuff, which is why they're doing this fill-in arc here. So I didn't hear anything about him leaving Wonder Woman, so I'm assuming he's probably coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Supergirl issue 16, the Kryptonite kingdom of El Caldero has been taken over by General Zod. And in such, she gets help from Superboy Prime, Connor Kent, Tomorrow Man, Lois Lane, Steel, Lana Lang, Natasha Irons, Princess Shark, and more of Supergirl's wild cast. I got to catch up on this book.
Yeah, that's a huge roster.
It is, yeah. And I can I just say how much I really dig Connor's new outfit? Like, it kind of blends the old and the new really, really well. brings more of the general color scheme of Superman himself in there, but also, there's still a jacket and kind of reminiscent of his second outfit that he had back in the day.
Right, the Young Justice one.
Yeah, the Young Justice one. Yeah, I'm really digging it.
Yeah, I will say, for what it's worth, Sophie, I haven't read Supergirl, and but I'm catching up on the IDW Ninja Turtles, and Sophie Campbell wrote the latter decent chunk of it. I don't know how many issues exactly, but those were interesting. She took some chances and told a much non-traditional like Ninja Turtle story, and she did a good job from what I saw. She made some interesting changes, so I think she's I'm interested in checking out Supergirl. I've been interested in checking out Supergirl for a while, but I guess now is a good time to start.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah. Plus, all those back issues are, right there in DC Infinite if you want to catch yourself up. So, yep. Page 18.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Oh, no, of course not. But, if they do want to, do it by all means. Hey, come on. You want
Jim.
Page 18/233. Also on the bottom of that page, issue 1101 of Action Comics. We're past the milestone mark of 1100, and Superman is back in the book. So Mark Waid and Montos, he returned in issue 1100. That is not out yet, but obviously that is going to happen here. And a young Clark Kent is also along for the ride in this particular issue. So not only do we get Superman as Superman, but also a young Clark Kent. So how's this going to go? We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't let anything happen to him.
Yeah. That would probably affect his older self. So I would think. Unless it's the Marvel version of time travel where, you can, if you change things, it just creates a separate multiverse version of it, and your reality stays exactly as is.
Right, because you changing the past doesn't change the future, and so
you
always existed in your timeline that always existed that way, and it's because you exist in the timeline where things were changed that things changed.
Yep. Right. That made a lot of sense, and I absolutely followed you 100% on that. I'm shaking my head no, but I mean yes.
Ultimate universally.
Part 3 of Kingdom of Zod, by the way, in Superman Unlimited, by Dan Slott and Rachel Stott. Dan Slott and Rachel Stott. The Slott and Stott connection. Zod reveals the secrets of his kryptonite kingdom. His powers are back, his empire grows, but it's not enough. He demands more, no matter the cost. Kneel before the Kingdom of Zod, Part 3.
Slot. Getting Supergirl this month. And Stott. I'm going to have to get all the Oh, no, I'm going to have to buy all the Super Family books. Oh, way to twist my arm, DC.
Oh, no. And in Superman versus Zod here, Part 4, an epic battle of power and revenge across the Kryptonite Kingdom, an eye for an eye. But Superboy Prime joins the fight, hoping to show the returning Superman how much he's changed, with a shock ending that will change the Kingdom of Zod and the DC universe forever. Is that Clark Kent carrying a bearded Superman, or is that
that's else? Tom Welling. That's Tom Welling holding Tyler Hoechlin.
Got it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Page 19/234 for whatever the hell was going on there. And then Justice League Unlimited issue 22. Mark Waid, busy man. Dan Mora, busy man. They still have time to do this, though. When the reborn arch-dictator Despero seizes control of Power's planet, the Justice League is outnumbered, outmatched, and outgunned by a barrage of brutal battle. But its troubles are somehow just beginning, as a new moon rises over this gigantic galactic hot plate. Meanwhile, the fissures created by the Amnesty program finally erupt into chaos on the Watchtower. Waid and Mora, issue 22 of JLU, on page 20/235.
Ooh, Kyle.
Yep, Kyle has been front and center now for a little while, and he continues to be here with Jeremy Adams and Zermatico. As Fast food is a big business in LA, but there's more in the fryers than beef tallow. A rivalry is about to shift a cold-cut war into a hot one, and Kyle Rayner's on the front line. Meanwhile, Hal Jordan's mysterious quest has the Guardians of the Universe desperate to stop him. What are they hiding? Be interesting once I catch up on this, it'll be interesting to see Kyle in a West Coast setting, as you know, he's usually East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess this is an In-N-Out analog. So like War with In-N-Out and whatever other burger places out there. I've never eaten at any of them.
Well, what is it? Big Belly Burger?
Big Belly Burger. That's what it was. Right,
yeah.
right.
Yep. Green Lantern issue 38 there on page 21/236. And the Corps against the Manhunters on that same page in Green Lantern Corps issue 19 by Morgan Hampton and Juan Jose RVP. Wally visiting Metropolis. Ryan North and Gavin Guidry's Flash issue 36 for that. But then on the bottom of that page, Tape Rumble, Sammy Basri, Static joins the Titans. That is really cool.
Yeah, it's a big game changer.
Yep. The Spark of Dakota City joins the new Titans crew, sending a shock to the team's dynamic. Shock. I see what they did there. But the introduction is short-lived before the team heads to the Amazon for its first big mission. Yeah, I'm really glad that they seem to be going whole hog on putting Static once again in the DC universe and giving him some time of day here. So hopefully that will continue to be the case for a long time to come.
And John with his electric blue S.
Yeah.
On that cover. Beautiful.
I find it kind of hilarious that they found a way to have both old John and young John at the same time in the universe now. Like, why not?
Only in comic books.
Only in comic books. Yep. Could you imagine if the Fantastic Four did that back in the day when they de-aged Franklin Richards? If we still had teenage Franklin Richards, Moody in the side, like while we had a younger one at the same time.
And then what would happen when they argued with each other? Whose reality warping powers wins out? Man, that just writes itself. That writes itself right there. Right?
Yep.
Who summons Galactus to them first?
New Titans 38, page 22/237. And then, who will take on the mantle of the Spectre? We are looking for a new host for the Spectre in JSA issue 22 by Jeff Lemire and Diego Orlategui. So, by the end of this issue, we'll probably know one way or the other who the new host of the Spectre is going to be there on page 23/238.
It's not me.
Good. I don't think you'd be a good host.
I just thought, I don't either. I just want to let people know it's not me.
All right. Okay. Good. I really wasn't thinking that, but I'm glad that you at least let the audience know.
Yeah, of course. Hey, doing a public service there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We are one issue away from Philip Kennedy Johnson officially being fully Marvel exclusive, as issue 11 here of Adventures of Superman Book of L hit stands, along with Scott Godlewski on the artwork chores. And then on that very same page, a World's Finest issue we will both enjoy.
Yes.
Not that we don't enjoy every issue of World's Finest, but issue 54 here by Mark Waid and Bruno Frenda with a great cover by Dan Mora. Superman, Batman, and their fellow Justice Leaguers are forced to compete in hell for the souls of all humanity in the wildest baseball game of all time. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play in hell.
It is high. It is far. It is caught demonically, unfairly, because that's how hell works.
Yeah. Well, and Etrigan as the umpire does not probably suit any of these people well here.
I can just imagine him just going, "You're nearly done, for your strikes are won." He has to rhyme it. Remember, he has to rhyme. It's not me. This is not me. Not my rules. It's his rules.
I say to thee, strike three.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. Page 239/24 for some baseball shenanigans in World's Finest. And then the second issue of Clayface Celebrity Dirt. As Murd and I talked about last episode. Once again, you're welcome for 2 previous episodes in a row again. We're not too thrilled with reusing the name Basil Carlo for this version of Clayface, considering it's a dated joke today, and there's been other Clayfaces that people are more familiar with that you could easily wind up just combining histories of and go with it. It's like Boris Karloff, like that's really not like a reference that most people today would actually be getting, Yeah,
it was kind of dated when we were kids, and then
I know,
iconic Batman animated series episode came out,
right? And they didn't even use Basil Carlo in that,
right?
They used
it up.
Yeah, they used Matt Hagen.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt Hagen. They could have easily went that way, but that's not the way they're going with this. But Jude Ellison, S. Doyle, and Fram Gillen give us the second issue of Celebrity Dirt on page 25/240.
And covered by that lazy slob Dan Moore.
Yeah, I know. He just does nothing. I swear to God. Mm-hmm. This is going to be probably one of the jewels of the month, definitely. Mark Waid and Chris Samnee co-writing with the art and cover by Chris Samnee. Batman and Robin Year One dynamic duos as they're back in action as the Dark Knight and Boy Wonder have been hard at work cleaning up the streets of Gotham City. Their partnership has only gotten tighter, but when a gang of street kids starts causing mischief, Batman and Robin will need to get to the bottom of where these kids came from and who is in charge. Waid and Samnee return to Gotham to tell another tale of the early days of the dynamic duo. I love this team up. I really do. Like Waid and Samnee is one of my favorite teams in comics, and getting more Year One Batman and Robin out of them, that's a win for everybody.
Yep, I still have to read the first run that they did, but I heard nothing but good things. So, I believe he does the. Yeah, I know. Look at this. Yeah. It's so cool. I love Samnee's art.
Yeah, it's always,
but like
it's so moody and classic at the same time.
Yeah, it's very like, it's like got a little bit of BTAS in there, but also like a more traditional like black and gray Batman.
Yeah, yep, no question about it. Page 241/26 for that. And the fourth issue of DC X Sonic the Hedgehog here. If you ever thought about what the Sonic characters would look like in DC superhero outfits, well, you get that on the cover here of this fourth issue. Adam Bryce Thomas on the writing and artwork chores, page 28/243. Sonic as the Flash. Yes, just yes. And volume 1 of End of Life by Kyle Starks and Steve Pugh bring us the first full collection of New Vertigo, as this collects the first 6 issues of End of Life by Kyle Starks. There on page 29/244. And we also get a new book by Ram V and Mike Perkins, Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy, #1. 2026, and in the age of cyber warfare and drone strikes, someone is plotting to steal the head of a giant king to break a centuries-old ward that has kept invading forces out of Britain. Magic and espionage collide as the Black Tower's band of misfits, led by the enigmatic Alistair Romeo, what a name, that's a damn fine name right there, delves into a maelstrom of spells and silencers, working against time and in the shadows to fight the esoteric battles bubbling under the surface of our visible wars. Ram V, Mike Perkins, brand new Vertigo book, Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy, #1 here on page 30/245. All right. On page 35/250 here, we're knee-deep into the Elseworlds Supergirl Survive, And after their run-in with the Lantern Corps, Kara has taken Cal back to Krypton, but the real Krypton no longer exists. This one is of her own making, a shimmering city of blue constructs that shelters them from the pain of their loss. Kara could call it home and keep her cousins safe, but she'd be living a lie. Fortunately, the arrival of an interdimensional imp will help change her mind. So Mixius Pitalik involved in this, and Kara as a Blue Lantern.
Yep.
Well, what? This must be an Elseworlds.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. I definitely want to check this out.
I'm
gonna whiff though.
You gonna whiff the?
Yeah, whiff the.
All right. Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan are your team behind this. And then in Superman Father of Tomorrow, we get ourselves some Superman struggling with how to help humanity reaching their potential. So he looks for help from a friend in Gotham City. Enter Batman and Robin. But Jor-El might have his hands full in Metropolis when General Sam Lane brings his Wildcats to the city to face down the Man of Steel. This is how you Elseworld. This is how you freaking Elseworld here. Like Bruce looks like he's wearing the Batman Beyond suit. You throw in the Wildcats for good measure. Like Jor-El as Superman. Like all right, let's just roll with this here.
One and only Wildcats.
Yes. Yep. Kenny Porter, Danny Earls, Superman Father of Tomorrow, issue 4 on page 35/250. And then we get some facsimiles. They've never made a facsimile of Action Comics #1 before. I'm so glad they finally got to it. Yeah.
I don't own 3 different versions of that facsimile. No, what are you talking about?
Yours is holofoil. I've seen it.
I have the regular too. I have the regular, I have the Dan Mora, and I have the foil.
Well, they're also giving us the first appearance of the Legion of Superheroes here, reiterating what I said, that we're probably only a month or two away from the return of the Legion of Superheroes. But Adventure Comics issue 247 brings us this particular facsimile by Otto Binder, the one and only Otto Binder, Henry Boltinoff, Ed Herron, and Jack Miller, with artwork by Al Plastino, Henry Boltinoff, George Papp, and Ramona Fraden, the one and only Ramona Fraden. I'll point out as well. There on page 36. Then
I'll probably get the foil for that.
First appearance of Batman. Once again, we've never had that.
I don't know what you mean.
Just gonna keep doing those, man.
Where is he?
I'm much more interested in the facsimile on the bottom here, because I've never even heard of this one before. Batman Limited Collector's Edition C25 with stories by Bill Finger, Don Cameron, John Broome, Mike Friedrich, and Denny O'Neil. Artwork by Bob Kane, Jerry Robinson, Dick Sprang, Carmine Infantino, Neil Adams, Irv Novick, and Dick Giordano. Classic, and Bob Kane. Like you get so many classics and Bob Kane. Like,
yep.
Great stuff there.
Great artists and writers, and then a scumbag.
Exactly. You know, page 37/252, and the finale. We've reached the finale of JLA of Avengers. This is Avengers JLA issue 4 by Busiek and Perez, with a excellent Alex Ross variant cover there. My word, is that beautiful.
Well, I might have to get both.
Yeah. This is on page 38/253. I have not been buying these variants because I very much hope that there is a new trade. Yes, I own the old trade. I don't care. If you wind up putting out a new trade and it has some good back material to it, I may very well wind up rebuying. And I already spent way too much money for this old trade on eBay. I don't care. I'll probably buy it again. It's one of the best comics of all time.
I own this. I found my single issues.
Yeah.
In my 200 boxes of comics.
Yeah.
I think I have the original trade that came out way back when in 2003. It might be torn to shreds, but it still exists.
Yeah.
So I've been buying these. But I've only been buying the foil variant. because I have the originals. So
Yeah.
I might have to get this Ross.
Oh,
Ross is so beautiful.
so good. So freaking good. Page 38/253 for that fourth and final issue of the facsimile JLA Avengers. And then down here on page 39, Sholly Fish, one of Murd's favorites, brings us Kanga Yu, Tricks and Transformation. No notes.
What more can be said?
Yep. Having escaped the infamous labyrinth with some monster friends in tow, the Kanga crew and the Amazons have temporarily settled the dangerous creatures on Transformation Island. But Themyscira is divided over what to do next with its recently acquired neighbors. Kanga Yu, Tricks and Transformation by Sholly Fish and Vancy Labat, page 39/254. And this is fascinating. Sarah Shepard and Stephanie Pepper bring us a little bit of all ages Birds of Prey here with Birds of Prey: The Origins. Gotham City is a place where people of all types mingle, where the weird, opulent, and violent are celebrated. Helena Bertinelli lost her family here. Barbara Gordon suffered a tragic accident. Dinah Lance ran away from the foster system. And Harleen Quinzel is looking for her place. But each of these girls is hiding something, a secret that could destroy her life in an instant. When strange things start happening to students at Gotham Prep, everyone at the school is on edge, worried they might be next. Will Helena, Barbara, Dinah, and Harleen be able to put their differences aside to learn to trust each other in time to find out who is behind the mysterious accidents before another victim turns up? I'm going to check this out. This sounds like a really cool take on Birds of Prey, making it teenagers and all ages in some ways. Digging it here on page 40/255, or at least young reader, not all ages.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Sarah Shepard, the writer of Attractive Young Fibbers, she knows how to write teens.
She do. Yep. Oh, look at that artwork.
I know. Look at that.
That's
this is
really
definitely
nice.
on my radar.
Yeah, man. Stephanie, I don't think I've ever seen anything from Stephanie Pepper before, but immediately, like, I need more. This is really good. Page 40 slash.
She does really good with dark scenes and bright scenes. Like the contrast. She does really good with the contrast.
Oh yeah. And then for an actual all ages book, You're a Superhero by Ozzy Tesfaye and Penelope Rivera Gaylord, all about 6-year-old Miriam, who loves superheroes, but when she watches them on TV, they feel like they exist on an entirely different planet. Miriam wishes there were more superheroes in her everyday life. As she explores her neighborhood, her mom points out that superheroes do exist within her community. Suddenly, her building's super resembles Superman. The bus driver is just like Wonder Woman. Her neighborhood electrician is as super as Batman. After a long day of emulating the super people in her life, including her super mom, Miriam learns the most important lesson of all: she's a superhero too. You're a superhero. Everyone's a superhero. On page 42/257.
Your breaker's gone bad. Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
No.
Oh, another one?
Another one. Kingdom Come 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition. This is $39.99, so $40 for 352 pages of course, Mark Waid and Alex Ross's classic Kingdom Come, which will be getting a new audio version in the not too distant future as well, if I remember correctly. So, not just going to get
AD.
Yep. Not just going to have look, an arrow, a green arrow anymore.
I say again because I just bought the pocket version, not that like a year ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
So it's just like, again? I might get this if it's interesting enough, like if the back matter is interesting enough. I'm gonna flip through it at a shop.
They're saying it features an exclusive new cover by Ross, new retrospective afterwards by Ross and Waid, and more. I still haven't watched the documentary. Mind you, I kickstarted that, so like I have a copy of it. I just have not gotten around to watching the documentary yet on the making of Kingdom Come. So I'll have to get that at some point.
And when you finally finish it, 7 thunders will shout your name.
On that same page, by the way, the 2026 edition of Animal Man by Grant Morrison, Book 1, the classic Grant Morrison Animal Man by him and Chaz Truog on the writing and artwork chores. That's all on page 45/260. Good DC Finest here. Interesting DC Finest. Some classic DC horror here, where dead men walk. Spellbinding stories of shock and suspense from DC's darkest crypts. Get ourselves some spooky fare for the likes of Len Wein, Jerry Conway, Steve Skeets, and others, with artwork by Alex Toth, Bernie Wrightson, Jack Sparling, and others, with a great cover by Neil Adams to go
all legends
with it. Yep. House of Secrets involved here, House of Mystery, The Witching Hour, and The Unexpected. They're on page 46/261. And another compact edition here, this one compact edition of Batman, Harley and Ivy by the great Paul Dini, with artwork by the great Bruce Timm and others. We also got a compact edition of Alan Moore. They actually said the words Alan Moore. All right, fine.
The original writer.
Yeah, the original writer. Swamp Thing, The Anatomy Lesson, DC Compact Comics Editions. To be fair, DC tends to put his name on everything that he didn't actually create. So Swamp Thing is theirs. Like they're allowed to say that he wrote it. But yeah, yep.
You can't do it with Miracle Man. What? That's Marvel, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And then Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think they still credit him on Watchmen, don't they?
Depends. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, I feel like. Also, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen usually gets his credit on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Page 47/262 for Swamp Thing, The Anatomy Lesson, collects Saga of Swamp Thing, issues 20 through 27. Heh! Patrick R. Young. Doing. Oh, they know what they're doing. Patrick R. Young and Moy R. Marco. Nothing but Nightwing, Volume 1. But they're emphasizing the but. This volume,
I think you can assume what this book is going to be about.
Oh yeah, this was
easily
a Ringo Award-winning webcomic series, optimized for a brand new reading experience in print. Was this the stuff that they had on Webtoons?
Maybe.
I think it might have been.
I think you might be right.
Yeah,
because I don't remember where else they had anything, so they kind of default to Webtoons.
It was either that or DC Infinite, but I don't remember this being on DC Infinite, so I'm going to guess it was probably the Webtoon stuff. But Patrick R. Young, Moy R. Marco, Nightwing Butt. They're on page 48/263. And Volume 1 of Cinegrace's Renaissance of Raven is also available, along with Harley Quinn in Paradise, on that next page 49/264. The Gotham Adventures Omnibus on page 50/265. A whopping 1,168 pages of Batman Adventures action right there. Yep.
That's a gigantic. I don't buy books that size because you damage that book, the pages come apart. Yeah, all that happens. Yeah. I'm very resistant to getting omniboo.
Yeah, not to mention it's we go by the rules of Shane here. If it's too heavy to put in your lap, then you shouldn't buy it, and that's
exactly
definitely the case here. But if you are interested, it collects the first 42 issues of Batman Gotham Adventures, plus additional stories from Superman Adventures issues 25, Adventures in the DC Universe number 3, the Batgirl Adventures number 1, Batman Gotham Knights issue 14, and Harley and Ivy Love on the Lam issue 1. All there for you on page 265/50. New edition of Garth Ennis's The Demon. They're on page 54/269. That's a classic right there. Garth Ennis and John McCrae breathing new life into the Demon back in the day. And this is available, all 296 pages of it. They're on page 54/269. And that concludes DC.
Oh, and look. That's a super ad.
Yeah, it's a Supergirl. Available in theaters on June 26th. I got to get my tickets.
I already got mine for that Friday.
Nice.
That's the week after is the week I leave for. Oh, I'll be here. I'll be here Monday, Tuesday.
Okay.
That week.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Onward we go to Marvel. And Marvel's getting some spooky shit this time around with some great creators along for the ride. On page 4 here, Jonathan Hickman has been working a lot more with Marvel lately, and Matteo Delafonte bring us Midnight X-Men issue 1. An all-new, all-disturbing universe begins here. The clock strikes midnight, and it's the dark dawn of a new era. The shadows of New York City are stalked by vampires and the mutant empires. The sword of Damocles hangs over the peace between these two species and the factions within them. An outright war is brewing, and the unturned will be caught in a crossfire. Hickman returns to the X-Men with a hunger for blood as his new world of terror reimagines the heroes of the Marvel Universe with a vampire flair. So, Midnight X-Men #1 there on page 4. And then, Jed MacKay on page 6 here, and Federico Vicentini, that is, always mispronounce that name, DNX #1 of 5. The X virus is unleashed. So we were talking about this last month, and now here we are as the X-Men and 3K, each steered by an original heir of Xavier, each with their own vision for the mutant people, each at one another's throats. Cyclops and the Chairman, a.k.a. White Beast, a.k.a. Original Beast, a.k.a. not the one that was, reborn and good again. This is the original, and he's not so good.
Yeah.
And he's
We're
not
going
Dark
back to
Beast.
Heel Beast.
Yep. He's not Dark Beast. It
Right.
is Beast.
That's Age of Apocalypse is Dark Beast. This is just our Beast, except evil.
Yeah, exactly. Experienced the future of Age of Revelation and came home with a renewed mission, the X-Men to prevent the future, 3K to own it. While the X-Men seek out the Fantastic Four to help save their own, White Beast begins his plans to unleash the X-Virus in a major populated area. Evolution is contagious. DNX issue 1 here on page 6. And I
hear that title.
Yeah.
And all I think is, stop, drop, turn around, open up shop. Oh,
which wasn't a Deadpool movie.
It wasn't.
Oh no, I'm sorry. X Gonna Give It to You was. My bad.
Right. That was it.
Yeah. Well, he's got some experience with that. All right, we're now 3 issues away from issue 1000 of Amazing Spider-Man. There have been 1,100 issues of Action Comics, and that's been out since the
1938.
1938, and Amazing Spider-Man is almost at issue 1000.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
What? I'm sorry. What was that?
Double shipping said what? Triple shipping said what? Quadruple shipping said what? Clean up on aisle Manhattan as Kelly and McGinnis bring us issue 34/998 there. And then on page 11, we got another Kelly and McGinnis issue as Damage Control comes with a cost. And Ghost Spider is involved with this particular issue by Kelly and McGinnis there, issue 35 on page 11.
Oh.
And then here we are, issue 1000 on page 12. Joe Kelly, Noah Hawley, Frank Miller writing, Dan Slott, J.M. DeMatteis, Bendis, and others, along with Pepe Larraz, Pat Gleason, Peach Momoko, Marcos Martin, Ramita Jr., Stuart Immonen. Stuart!
Oh, an Immonen.
When is the last time you heard the word Stuart Immonen in a solicitation?
It has been a very long road getting from there to here, man.
Yeah, because I think he's mainly been working in, like, he's been doing his own, like, art, and I think he's been working behind the scenes in Hollywood a little bit, if I remember correctly. But yeah,
I want to say Ultimate Universe.
I think so.
At some point was the last time I saw Stewart, but I don't know.
I mean, I know he worked on the Bendis X-Men stuff also. Like at the beginning of that. Yeah. Yep.
Right. The gold balls era of X-Men.
Exactly. Yep. Well, the biggest issue in Amazing Spider-Man history hits here with issue 1000 as Spider-Man faces his greatest fear and most frightening new villain in decades, Ravage, plus some of the greatest creative minds on Earth honor 1000 issues of Spider-Man, and Noah Hawley of Alien Earth, Fargo, and Legion makes his comic book debut in this issue. That's actually really cool. I love Noah Hawley's stuff, so this is it's nice to see him embracing the comic book world after working on Legion for the many years that he did, and his Fargo stuff is great too. So
I think I'm gonna get the Ed McGuinness foil cover.
I think so. Yeah, that's worth getting. I think that's worth getting. That's there on page 12 of the book. And then J.M. DeMatteis, Ann Nesenti, JMS, and Ashley Allen bring us Mary Jane Face It Tiger. 3 stories of 3 different MJ eras. So these are all reprints. And an epilogue, which is new, that points towards the future of Mary Jane Watson. So this will give you a little bit of backstory on what's been happening with Mary Jane in the past couple of years here on page 14.
And I'm guessing Ashley Allen is going to write the new stuff?
Very possible.
Because her name is Ashley Allen, and once she was a forensic investigator in Central City, but then she got struck by a lightning bolt, and now she tells Mary Jane stories.
Boom, boom. No. Miles Morales gets a relaunch. Yep. Page 18 here. Because you can't just keep the numbering of the previous series. You got to have a new number 1, baby.
Nope. No one wants that.
Yeah. Brian Hill is the writer behind this, along with Nico Leon and Val DeLandro. New era of Miles as Spider-Man starts here, and he's back in his original red and black suit after a little while there of wearing a suit that was handed down to him by Wakanda. As Spider-Man thinks he has it all handled. Homework, spider villains, a new school crush. No, Miles is focused on what matters, helping the good folks of Brooklyn. Yeah, friendly.
Yeah, hey,
hey,
to Brooklyn over here.
I'm Spider-Man in here. Spider-Man at his best, but a vengeful villain from Jeff Morales' past with S.H.I.E.L.D. threatens to destroy not only Spider-Man, but the entire Morales family. So Brian Hill, previously of Ultimate Black Panther, takes over the Spider-Man role here for Miles Morales on page 18 with a great, adorable cover by a variant by Scotty Young.
Mm-hmm.
And a duck variant cover by Chrissy Zullo, because why not?
Apparently that's a thing that they have.
Apparently.
That's become a thing.
I forgot about this. I forgot this was announced, so I'm glad to talk about it here. Spider-Man Hulk, Fire and Brimstone, issue 1 of 4, written by Kevin Smith and Andy McElfresh, with artwork by R.B. Silva. Thwip Smash. We get a new high-octane adventure for Spider-Man and Hulk. It's nonstop action, side-splitting quips, and the exorcism of Bruce Banner? All that and more in this 4-issue mini by Kevin Smith himself here on page 20.
Here's to getting all 4 issues in a reasonable amount of time.
I think we probably will.
I'm optimistic.
He's been a bit better about that lately. Oh wow! Look at the artwork here of that Silva drew of green taking on red there, right in the middle of Seattle.
A classic green too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
With the sloped forehead.
Yep. Oh man! Oh, damn! That's a good cover. Another variant cover by Chris Anka, by the way, which first time I've seen Chris Anka's name on a cover in a minute, so I'm glad to see him back in any form. But Fantastic Four issue 15 by Ryan North and Umberto Ramos, the 65th anniversary spectacular of Fantastic Four. Extra large, extra fantastic adventure for you, starring everyone's favorite adventurers, spanning centuries of history and a universe of scientific progress. The FF have been defeated with their personal arrows of time reversed. They're careening into the past with no hope of salvation, unless a complete stranger can find out what they need. This is one issue you won't want to miss, because you'll have to wait 65 years for anything like it. Plus, Johnny's mustache saves New York City? What?
Okay, that's a hook.
Oh, yeah. Anything about a mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four issue 15 there on page 24. Oh, man. Even the Umberto Ramos cover is great.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. I've actually really been digging Ramos's artwork on Fantastic Four. I wasn't quite sure he was going to be a match, but for one thing, I love the way he draws Thing. I think he completely captures him. It's almost like Waringo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is very reminiscent of Waringo.
Yep.
Not quite, right?
Yeah.
But like it is literally what it is. It's Ramos trying to be more Waringo like, which is pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Mortal Thor issue 14 also is issue 800 of Thor. Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, it's probably 800 of Journey into Mystery, because I don't believe he debuted in Journey into Mystery #1, but it still counts as his one.
Thank you. Please leave my store. just get out.
All right. Anyway, thanks for the books. I'll come by for my poll next week. I'll see you later.
No, you won't. Al Ewing, Chris Condon, and more on this one. I mean, congratulations for anything like, Journey in the Mystery has been running for a very, very long time in one form or another, whether it be Thor or whether it be the book itself. And this is Mortal Thor issue 14 here. And we are getting close to getting some answers on the Jarlsson saga of Mortal Thor here in this 14th issue on page 26. Love me some Al Ewing, but oh my God,
that
Alex frickin' Ross, the galaxies forming the circles on Thor's suit.
So cool,
beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yep. And more Cap versus Thor action. More Cap versus Doom action on page 28 there by Zdarsky and Lima. As a soul for a soul is the story behind that. Avengers Armageddon by Zdarsky continues. And we're going to have some Wolverine action, assembling the Avengers in one form or another. A civilians riot, villains rise, and heroes fall. And Zdarsky is going to be taking over the main Avengers book from what I read. So,
cool.
Let's see what he's able to do with that. So we'll take a look at that. It's going to be a little bit more grounded. It's going to be a little bit more like New Avengers-y from what I've been reading. I think it's going to have Daredevil and Spider-Man and Luke Cage. Like a lot of the New Avengers are going to be showing up in one form or another. But this continues that story here on page 29. Ultimate Impact Reborn, Captain America joins the fight as Miles Morales and Iron Man recruit him to defend against the scourge of the ultimate negative zone, Hostilicus. Chris Condon and Stefano Caselli continue that story there on page 30. Ooh, and Black Cat and Punisher crossing paths here on page 31 by G. Will Wilson and Andres Ginole. G. Will Wilson.
The cover says it all.
Oh, it does.
He's
but also
so annoyed at her.
It's like, what the hell are you doing here? Please get off my rooftop. Let go of my show. Venom 261 here. Long ago, a friend of Reed Richards had a problem, an alien costume that didn't want to come off. Reed Richards blasted it off with a sonic weapon and imprisoned it for study. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but now he's got to work with that alien to save the world, and Venom holds one heck of a grudge. Queen in Black. continues in 261 of Venom, Al Ewing and Carlos Gomez. Al Ewing will also be writing a Queen in Black Thor issue, along with Sergio Davila. I like that they've been getting the main creators to do more of these one-shots, tying into ongoing stories.
You need that investment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Page 36. We're both highly anticipating Marvel Tokon.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that we know that Magneto's in the game. So
right.
Good stuff.
I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
I didn't get to play the open demo that the open beta period they had a little while ago, but it looks so cool. I want to play this so bad.
Green Goblin is going to be in it.
I know. I saw him.
It's the first time he's ever been playable in a fighting game.
Yeah. I can't. Because he's part of it's Doom.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the trailer, but it was Doom, Magneto, Green Goblin, and there's a fourth.
Carnage.
Carnage. Right. Carnage.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that'll be his first time in a fighting game too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yep. But Steve Orlando, Tom Waltz, and Josh Trujillo. Oh, Josh Trujillo. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Bruno Bull, Attila Fabio, and more, are bringing us this comic book tie-in to Marvel Tokon on page 36. So we'll get and this is a anthology showcasing brand new high-octane adventures from the Marvel Tokon universe that you won't get anywhere else. From show-stopping brawls to deep, abiding mysteries, this one-shot acts as a companion piece to the upcoming 4x4 tag team fighting game, uncover secrets and more in this action-packed special. They're on page 36.
Ooh.
And then Jeff the Land Shark's second issue by Kelly Thompson, because everybody loves Jeff on page 38.
Here's the little guy I love. Godzilla Conquers the Multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 of 5. Doom versus Godzilla. The multiverse trembles with the most unexpected guest stars imaginable. Dr. Doom's forces clash with No's kill crew as Godzilla unleashes devastation across realities. Can Miles Morales' desperate time jump stop an apocalyptic chain of events, including Emma Frost, Kang, and Doom himself? Featuring Weapon Giga, Ghost Rider, the Symbiote Control Fantastic Four, America Chavez, Doc Ock, Doctor Strange, and Odin of 1 million BC. Sure. All
right. Why not? These things are getting crazy, and I freaking am very happy.
I love it. This is the Marvel DC crossover I want. Yeah. I want this Godzilla and the DC Legendary Godzilla to take on the JLA and Avengers.
Oh my God.
That's all I want.
Doc Ock with a symbiote, but also Reed Richards with a symbiote? Damn.
I know.
Oh boy. Page 39. And then on page 40, Ashley Allen, Domenico Carbone, 5-issue mini, Tomb of Apocalypse. From his exile in space, the shadow of the mutant called Apocalypse loomed over all life on the pale blue dot from whence he hailed. Once dedicated to ensuring the strongest and fittest mutants would inherit the Earth, now Apocalypse's attentions have turned to a new deadly undertaking for which he will need the unique abilities of Jubilee and Wolverine. Interesting combination there. Tomb of Apocalypse, number 1 of 5, on page 40. Apocalypse has had an interesting couple of years.
Yeah, post Krakoa.
Yeah. Some major transformation along the way for him in more ways than one. Also, the 3rd of 5 of Saladin Ahmed's Bishop, as Bishop takes on the Brotherhood, and Steve Orlando's X-Men Outback miniseries continues, filling in a gap in the Outback era of the X-Men, back when Colossus was always shirtless, always shirtless.
Crikey.
Show off them pecs. The second issue of Chris Claremont's Gambit miniseries on page 45, as Chris Claremont and Robert Gill continue the story being told there as Gambit takes on Bullseye. Yowzes. Saladin Ahmed's reached his 25th issue of Wolverine as he dodges syringes in Bad Medicine. The mutant monster More. Then the return of the Savage Champions on the double-shipped issue 26 of Wolverine. Game-changing Savage Champions returns, and this time they need Wolverine there on page 47. Logan will all the Wolverine you can fit into a hat this month, man. Like, come on. He's also showing up in Generation X-23, one of my favorite names in all of comics. It was staring them right in the face, and they went with it, and I appreciate that.
Yes.
Yep. Then Inglorious X-Force issue 8 as well, as we get Domino involved with this, and the secret behind Cable's lost memory is revealed there on page 48.
Oh, X3, X-Men United.
No, just X-Men United. No X3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Eve Ewing's 6th issue of that, involving Blue Happy Beast as opposed to White Bad Beast. That's there on page 49. And the Shadow King involved with that as well. We have reached the 35th issue of Jed MacKay's X-Men run as well, as this serves as a prologue to DNX. And then issue 36, Magneto has seen better days at the hand of White Beast. Yep. Oh, look at that variant there by Rod Rice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yep.
That's a good shot of Magic.
Yep. Ilyana right there on the cover there, page 51. We're also getting issues 33 and 34 of Gail Simone's Uncanny X-Men, as Wild Ride starts here. As Gambit's condition is worsening, causing an unexpected shakeup in the roster of Uncanny X-Men. But is it merely magic that is taking over his form and behavior, or is something far more sinister?
So it's either Ilyana Rasputin or Mr. Sinister, is what they're telling us.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yep. And then in the 34th issue, in desperation, Rogue and Gambit look for help in an unexpected, unreliable source, and the cure may be far worse than the disease. So right there on page 53, we get issue 34 of Uncanny X-Men. I continue to point out that this should not be called Season 2 of X-Men 97. It's actually Season 1.5, as it goes before Season 2, but they wanted to call it Season 2, and they did.
Yeah.
Yep. The Four Horsemen have arrived in X-Men 97 Season 2, Issue 3 by Steve Fox and Salva Espin with a great cover by Todd Knock. X-Force has touched down in Madripoor to apprehend Pestilence, one of Apocalypse's Four Horsemen. When the battle culminates to reveal a much deeper threat, can Cable rally the team together to face the unimaginable, or will they fall to Apocalypse's looming shadow? If you want some extra X-Men 97 action, you find it there in this 3rd issue there on page 55. And Dan Abnett's Punisher versus Spider-Man continuing there on page 57, issue 2 of that series. I know you're an Abnett fan, Raph.
Yes, I am.
Unfortunately, we did call you out last month. It was the 5th and final issue of your dearly departed.
Why didn't people buy Imperial Guardians, man?
Well,
come on.
Hopefully people are buying Spectacular Spider-Man Brand New Day, because I want more Dan Slott on Spider-Man, and if this doesn't sell, that ain't going to happen.
That too. I would, if we get more Brand New Day, I'd be okay with it.
I want to reiterate, Dan Slott, Marcus Toe, and Marcos Martin all together on a property, and look at a cover by Phil Jimenez. Like, buy this, people. Buy this and enjoy it. Page 59 for more Spider-Man versus Mr. Negative action by Dan Slott. Rainbow Rowell, they're knocking it out of the park with the what ifs lately. This brings Rainbow Rowell back to Runaways for a one-shot what if here. What if the Runaways hadn't run away? Every year, a group of philanthropists gather for a charitable fundraiser, or so their children, Alex Chase, Gertrude, Carolina, Molly, and Nico thought. When they discover their parents form the Hyde, a sinister sacrificial group that answers to a godly race called the Gaborim, the teens are terrified, shocked, and intrigued. Their destiny awaits, and there's no running away. So what if the Runaways had embraced their heritage by Rainbow Rowell?
Stayed here.
Yes, the We Ain't Leavins. Rainbow Rowell's the Lemos, Scotto, Lavina. They're on page 60. And what if Captain America was revived in 2099? Look at the creative team.
Mark Guggenheim, Ron Lim. Man, what a throwback team.
Beautiful.
I know.
Yeah. I'm down.
No Avengers.
This could be really interesting. See how Captain America works with Spider-Man 2099 and Doom and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. We have a Ashley Allen aboard for a very interesting what if here. What if Cassandra Nova killed Professor X? In a world where Cassandra Nova killed Charles Xavier in the womb, telepaths are hunted and experimented on, and what she's making from them is far worse than what she's taking. When telepaths Jean Grey and Emma Frost escape, Cassandra Nova will stop at nothing to bring them back. Bring on Cassandra's X-Men.
I have to say,
yeah,
this looks amazing. And her name is Ashley Allen, and she was a forensic investigator in Central City when she was struck by a chemical-induced lightning.
No,
and now she's become the most prolific comic book writer alive.
She is.
That's like the third title we've seen with her.
Flash Marvel. She's Flash Marvel. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, man.
She's doing so much work.
No, uncanny.
And this one looks a lot of fun.
It does, yeah. And I'm assuming the X-Men in Shadow here are Cyclops, Wolverine, and Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll find out in the story itself there on page 61.
I wonder if we're going to get Cassandra in season 2.
We might. If not, maybe season 3.
Yeah, because they're doing the new X-Men Morrison era looks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I could see them doing that too.
Yeah. Fourth of 10 here of Doom Quest by Ryan North. So this very much has a lot to do with Ryan North's Fantastic Four run, but also a nice 10-issue Doom mini here, as Doom finds his consciousness inside the body of someone with no power, no standing, and without anything beyond what this poor orphan boy can scrounge on his own, which is to say, Doom finds his consciousness within his childhood self. What will Doom do in his own body as a youth here on page 63? Look out for the Utes.
Yep. Gotta be careful of those Utes.
Mm-hmm. We're on the facsimiles, issue 6 of Silver Surfer by Stan Lee and John Buscema. They've been going issue by issue on the early Silver Surfer facsimiles here. And on page 69, 65 years of the world's greatest comic covers, Fantastic Four. So we get more than 700 covers illustrated by some of the best in the game here. So if you're really into art books, you're really into display, like coffee table type scenarios, this is something for you here for a great collection of Fantastic Four covers there on page 69.
There's no way that's $5.99.
I agree with you. But somehow it's 56 pages and there's 700 covers.
Unless they're going to do like 6 covers to a page, which is kind of a cop-out.
They might be doing that. Damn it. All right, I'm way less interested in this. Moving on.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Ooh. Great facsimile.
I have this.
Yep. Issue 1. Oh, you have a copy?
I think I have a copy of this.
Nice.
It looks very familiar.
Well, Amazing Spider-Man issue 100 by Stan Lee and Gil Kane here.
Mm-hmm.
Page 71. Full facsimile, foil variant also available because they like taking money from poor, unsuspecting 90s children. They're on page 71.
All right, I'll get the wallet. It's fine.
Uh, we get in the world of Star Wars this month, The Fall of Kylo Ren, issue 105 by Charles Soule. Charles Soule's written a bunch of great Star Wars comics over the past couple of years. And Will Sliney on the artwork as the legacy of Vader creates a new empire of fear. Kylo Ren returns from devastation, wielding total fury. As Generals Hux and Pride tear the First Order apart with treacherous ambition, Kylo cuts through their schemes with merciless clarity. His wrath forges unity through fear and unleashes a supreme leader neither general can escape nor survive disappointing. A pivotal turning point for Kylo, Hux, and Pride. Essential reading for every Star Wars fan on page 74. I will finish what I started.
Grandfather, I will create a dark order in your name.
Did you know that Kylo Ren has an 8-pack?
And something about a girl.
All right, page 79. Book 1 and Book 2. Indiana Jones: The Further Adventures, Book 1, and Indiana Jones: The Further Adventures, Book 2. The classic Marvel Comics tales of everyone's favorite adventuring archaeologists presented here, written by luminaries such as Walt Simonson, David Michelinie, John Byrne, Denny O'Neil, and Archie Goodwin. Pencils by John Buscema, Butch Geist, John Byrne, Ron Frenz, Howard Chaykin, Kerry Gamble, Dan Reed, Ricardo Villamonte, David Mazzucchelli, and Herb Trimpe. These two books are available now, collecting a whole bunch of Indiana Jones comics from Marvel Super Special number 18 and 30, and then the Further Adventures of Indiana Jones issues 1 through 16. That's in book 1. And then book 2 covers 17 through 34, and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in full, the full comic book adaptation of it, issues 1 through 4. That's on page 78 and 79 of the catalog.
Very nice.
Yep. We're getting a Danny Ketch Omnibus, Volume 3. Howard Mackey, David Quinn, Stephen Grant, Christian Cooper. This was a so-so era of Ghost Rider. This was near the end of the Danny Ketch era. But
yeah, this is like mid to late 90s, I want to say.
Yeah, Spirits of Vengeance, Night Stalkers, pages, Darkhold pages from the Books of Sin, Morbius the Living Vampire, some Doctor Strange stories thrown in here, Midnight Suns Unlimited, Blade Legacy of Blood issues 1 through 4, and Ghost Rider and the Midnight Suns magazine number 1 material for Marvel Comics Presents. So yeah, if you're a completist on Danny Ketch and want to check this out, that's available there for you on page 84.
Yeah, mid 90s for sure.
Oh, most definitely. Ooh. Page 87. If you've never read Old Man Logan, which was very much the template for what was later to come with the Logan movie, this collects Wolverine issues 66 through 72, Wolverine Old Man Logan Giant Size number 1, as well as Old Man Logan from 2015 issues 1 through 5, and Old Man Logan 1 through 24, the 2016 series. So not just Miller and Bendis here, but also Jeff Lemire, and penciled by Steve McNiven, Andrea Sorrentino, Felipe Andrade, and Eric Nguyen. They're on page 87.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it also influences Wolverine and Deadpool, because the Wolverine in that movie is the one that killed all the X-Men, which is what Old Man Logan did.
Very true. Yep. Mm-hmm. Good point. That's there on page 87. Ultimate Endgame by Denise Camp, collected in full. All 5 issues of that there on page 90. And Dungeons of Doom, clearly featuring Kevin Sullivan and the Yeti on page 93 here by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Yep, on the Superstation TBS. And Benjamin Percy and Chip Zdarsky along for the ride. This collects Dungeons of Doom issues 1 through 3, reckoning with the fallout from One World Under Doom. Once again on page 93. Then 94, has both Black Panther Intergalactic and Wiccan Riches Road. This is a great thing to get. Logan, Black, White, and Blood. I love these black and white anthologies that they've been putting out lately, with the extra color thrown in there for good measure. And Logan, Black, White, and Blood, from what I flipped through of it, looks great. With some wonderful creators like Saladin Ahmed, Larry Hama, Benjamin Piercy, Frank Thierry, Mirka Andolfo, and plenty others involved with it as well, with pencils by Adam frickin' Kubert, Dave Wachter, friend of the show, Dave Wachter, Robert Gill, Phil Noto, tons of others involved with this as well. So definitely worth checking out the anthology in full. There are 136 pages for $30, collects all 4 issues on page 95. Ooh. Great. Yeah. Great epic collection to have. Wolfman, Claremont, Gerber, Stern, and McLaren. This collects Tomb of Dracula, issue 10, 12, and through 14, and 24, and 30, plus a bunch of others. So I'm not going to go through every single issue here.
There's a lot listed.
Yeah, this is a lot of the early days of Blade by Wolfman, Claremont, Gerber, Stern, and McLaren, with artwork by the great Gene Colan, Tony DeZuniga, Rico Raval, P. Craig Russell, Steve Lealoa, and Dan Green and Malcolm Davis there, all for you on page 98. Heh. Volume 6 of Excalibur. We've reached the Doug Glock Chronicles. Oy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is not the best.
This is a late Excalibur. Speaking of Ghost Rider, this is probably a little after that Ghost Rider, even maybe around the same time.
Yeah, or pretty close to it. This was right around the time that Warren Ellis took over full time. And yes, a whole bunch of fill-in issues of Excalibur before we actually get there. But this collected Excalibur 76 through 87, annual number 2. X Factor issue 106, X Force 38, and material from Marvel Comics Presents issue 174. Robert Ashford, Scott Lobdell, Christian Cooper, Warren Ellis himself, Todd DeZago, and Fabian Nicieza along for the ride for this. Yeah, not the best era. On page 99.
Only for the completionists, this one is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
Ooh, same with the song.
Yeah, same with the Executioner song, honestly. That shit don't age well.
No. But it's it's just part of that long string of storylines that starts with I don't know, the Dark Phoenix saga. There's just one after the other that everyone talks about until and I don't think people realize once they get to a certain point, it's like, no, those weren't part of the good run.
Yeah. Definitely.
Right. Like once you get to Age of Apocalypse, anything after Age of Apocalypse, even Age of Apocalypse itself is kind of debatable, but anything after Age of Apocalypse is just utterly forgettable.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, up until maybe the Bastion era of X-Men, that was when things started to turn themselves around a little bit. Plus, I really like those space issues back when Joe Mad was drawing. Yeah. With Rogue in the pink outfit, that's some good stuff. Yep.
Oh, and not to mention the thing that I still strongly believe that X-Men 97 season 2 is based on, the 12th.
Oh God, no. Page 100 for that, and that concludes the Marvel catalog, and not a moment too soon because he mentioned the 12. All right, let's head over to Dark Horse, and the key art for this episode is mentioned in this very catalog. So looking forward to talking about that here on page 1 of said catalog. As what a creative team. Hey, weren't we just talking about how they needed to bring on people like Tom King over at Dark Horse? Well, they did it.
Yeah, they listened to me before I even said anything.
Not even just Tom King, but also Gabriel Hernandez Walta on the artwork for this. 6 of us is what this is called here. 6 actors built America's favorite sitcom. Millions turned in. Billboards lit the skyline. Then one of them died. A beloved cast member of a hit ensemble sitcom dies under mysterious circumstances. sending shockwaves through Hollywood and revealing the secrets, betrayals, and desires lurking beneath the glittering facade. As the surviving cast members confront their past, old rivalries and hidden truths emerge, and the line between life and performance begin to blur. This is a six-issue mini, and I very much am looking forward to it on page 2.
You know, it's funny because like people want to be like actors, whether for fame or to be, you know, to entertain people, and you know they just never tell you that life is going to be this way. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Also, the cover B by Fabio Moon. That is some beautiful stuff right there. Like such great use of empty space, man. All right, well, do check that out on page 2 there. Some interior pages on the next couple pages, and man, does that look great. Then, yeah.
Oh my God.
Dark Horse was listening, dude.
Oh my God! Seriously, what the hell?
Past couple of months, they've been really throwing this out. This is part of Jonathan Hickman's new universe, basically.
Oh, okay.
Along with Nick Spencer, Del Mundo, and a couple of others, Hickman and Spencer are creating something here. This is a one-shot called Shift. Explore the beginnings of the 3 worlds / 3 moons universe. Hey, remember how we were saying that Dark Horse needed the universe? Anyway,
I know. What the hell, dude?
Stunning prestige format comic book written by Hickman with art and colors by Del Mundo. Set generations before the current science cycle, in a time where magic is at its peak and Chaoso is thriving. Sig, the Whiteheart, eschews the wishes of his family and the will of the Academy by hitching a ride on a Vojaganto to the center of the universe, Akva. All right, this is some Dune-esque shit right here, but I am not mad. And this is presented in prestige magazine-style format, showcasing stunning artwork by some of the leading creators in comics.
Yeah, it's an easy buy.
Oh, yeah. 72 pages for $10, but it's prestige magazine format. You can charge that much. So page 5 for this one. Yep. No, not the Absolute Universe. Just.
I wasn't even using that for that reason. That was a natural absolutely.
Absolutely. Eric Powell writing and drawing Hillbilly: The Treason of 12-Toe Maggie. Perfect jumping on point for new readers in the Hillbilly saga, as there are many tales of Rondell, the wandering hillbilly. This is but one. Some years after the Great Witch War, Rondell, in order to save an old friend, finds himself in an uncomfortable situation in the service of his former captor, 12-Toe Maggie. Will he break the magical tie that binds him to the 12-toed witch, or will the wielder of the devil's cleaver be at his service forever? 3-issue mini from the creator of the Goon here on page 6. And the new Mignola, of course, it's a Dark Horse. There's got to be a new Mignola. And Mignola and Robertson are the ones behind this, with artwork by the great Michael Avon Oeming. After being exposed to Enkindletite in Giant Robot Hellboy, super spy agent Jillian uses her newfound powers as part of a mysterious spy ring entrusted to investigate Enkindletite stores and keep the powerful material out of the wrong hands. But just whose hands are the wrong ones is harder to determine than she thought. Spy Hellboy action here in Ghost of a Ghost by Mignola and Robertson with Avon Oeming on page 8.
Pretty cool.
Another number 1 here. Jordan Bloom and Tim Seeley with artwork by Scott Kobush. Holy shit, Dark Horse.
I'm stunned.
Yeah.
I'm stunned at how much talent they just keep getting after getting rid of Mike Richardson.
Well, but also...
Although maybe this was already in the works from Mike and they just kind of let him go and now this is the fruits of his labor.
It's possible, but I've been seeing some ridiculously positive things out of Dark Horse, even with all this stuff happening. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. But in fact, was it Dark Horse that just unionized?
I think so.
Let me check the Facebook real quick. Actually, you know what? or I could put the words Dark Horse Union into Google real quick, and that'll tell me. Dark Horse Workers United. Dark Horse Comics is willingly and voluntarily recognizing Dark Horse Workers Union as a recognized collective. So Dark Horse is now unionized.
Nice.
Yep. Anywho, over in the world of the big shakedown, the earthquake to end all earthquakes has finally struck L.A. The government decides not to rebuild, and the city becomes a no man's land for those who refuse to leave it. But hey, you can't beat the weather. 5 years later, Esther Blanco, a down-on-her-luck former PI, is willing to do anything to escape the city of angels. She believes she's found her ticket out when a desperate father hires her to solve a missing persons case in a city where a third of the population is already missing. Instead, the trail of this lost girl leads Esther to uncover a dark web of cults, conspiracy, and corruption that threatens every Angelino that stayed behind. 4-issue post-apocalyptic action here by Bloom, Seeley, and Kobush on page 10. Point out here, Tim Sheridan and Will Sliney's He-Man Masters of the Universe, The Wings of Fate, 3rd issue here of the 4-issue mini on page 13, and Masters of the Universe Genesis on that same page. Go past a bunch of stuff that is ongoing.
Already in progress.
And we go to some collections. Dan Hauser and Laszlo bring the 2nd volume of American Caper, issues 5 through 8. 120 pages for $20 there. And Mark Miller and Sean Gordon Murphy get a full omnibus of their Chrononauts series. I have volume 1 on my shelf. Still have not gotten to it. But this collects both volumes, volume 1 and 2, into one omnibus on page 25. The complete Tales from the Crypt archive. This collects the complete original run of Tales from the Crypt. 1,032 pages of
That's what I was
Tales from the
reacting to.
Crypt. Yeah. Wowzers.
Also, the forwards.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We got John Carpenter, Bruce Campbell, and more.
Yep. Yeah. This is a very good collection to have for completists. I'll tell you that. If you're into Tales from the Crypt, like you can't get better than an archive like this. Putting together everything like that.
E.C. Lutley.
Yep. Page 28 for that one. Leonide the Vampire, all 2 issues of that, and a bonus sketchbook. Collected on page 29. These were oversized issues, so this is actually 104 pages for $24.99 there on page 29. And an omnibus of Strangers in Paradise by Terry Moore on the very next page.
Dark Horse has the rights to Terry Moore stuff?
They do now. Dark Horse Comics proudly welcomes Terry Moore's celebrated Abstract Studio as a new imprint. Yeah, so Abstract Studios is an imprint of Dark Horse Comics now.
Man, they've acquired a lot.
They really have. Yeah. I think I understand what the current initiative is, and that is make things as varied as possible. Like ensure that there are books out there that literally anybody would be interested in checking out, and they're diversifying their portfolio in some really good ways right now.
I kind of see them as a like what IDW was like a couple of years ago when they were on the rise. It's just IDW has way more established name brands that I like Ninja Turtles and Star Trek. And there are not many of those lying around.
But I mean, for a while there, Dark Horse had them. You know, Dark Horse had Buffy, Angel, Firefly, Star Wars. You know,
Star Wars.
They had some huge properties for a very long time. But now they're definitely building themselves back. So good for them here. So yeah, welcome Strangers in Paradise to Dark Horse on page 30.
Ooh, this looks interesting.
Yes, it does. The Weapon is Hungry by Bartos Stizabor and Alessio Fornielli. This is the writer of the Netflix anime series Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runners. wrote "The weapon is hungry" here. So this is a child or a weapon of mass destruction. A deadbeat mother finds a second chance to get it right and another to destroy the world. Full original graphic novel here for you on page 31.
Edge Runners is very popular, so that's a good get.
And not only do they get Terry Moore, they get Marvel. This is not the first thing that Dark Horse has put out of theirs, but Marvel's Mightiest Monsters by Lee and Kirby, edited by Chris Ryall, one of the best editors in the game, and John Lind as well. Kaiju fans assemble. Hi, Raph. This deluxe collection features a curated selection of pre-superhero monster stories from the 50s and 60s of Marvel. Also includes modern monster stories and cover art from creators such as Claremont, Buscema, Byrne, Gil Kane, Eric Powell, Trad Moore, and Art Adams, demonstrating how these creatures continue to captivate new generations of readers. And then on the same page, this is all on page 32, Marvel's Most Villainous Volume 1, Magneto, showcasing a bunch of Magneto stories throughout his era. And again, it was Lee and Kirby as the writers and artists of this, but they've got a bunch of stuff from many different eras included within his volume, and a new essay by John Lynn and Chris Ryall discussing Magneto's origin, impact, and character development over the decades. So it's almost like a reference book with actual comic books included. There on page 32. And they do the same thing with Marvel's Vampires on that. But let's focus more on RoboWolf, because that's a thing.
Why? How? Man.
For fans of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, hi, Raph, Streets of Rage, and RoboCop, this action comedy will keep you on the edge of your beanbag chair and have you laughing so hard that your gas station Slurpee will spew out your nose. This collects all 4 issues of RoboWolf by Jim Smith. Yep. Loving it.
Ooh.
Yep. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Secrets of the Zonai. Over 50 pages of beautiful illustrations, character art, and promotional images behind Tears of the Kingdom, plus a bit of its lore explored here as well. A beautiful replica of the Secret Stone of Time, all there for you on page 34. Also,
the Hyrule Historia is still in print.
Yes, it is indeed. Yep. After all these years.
I think I still have mine. I had the deluxe one. I think I sold it eventually because it was going for crazy numbers or something.
It's also probably a good thing we're not watching the Nick game right now, because I just saw the score. But
oh no, I have it on my second screen over here, and that's why I've been. If you see me going like this, it's because I'm getting depressed.
Oh yeah. But hey, weirder things have happened.
Yes,
but,
exactly.
Whatever. It just means it'll at least go to Game 6. Yeah, volume 43 of Berserk. We have gone that far into the Berserk saga. Extra content includes a double-sided, full-color illustrated fold-out, an afterword by Koji Mori, and a bonus comic strip about Kentaro Miura. So, volume 43 of Berserk presented here on page 37, one of the most famous manga of all time. And volume 3 of Lone Wolf and Cub by Kazuo Koike and Goseki Kojima. That collects Lone Wolf and Cub volumes 5 through 8 into one giant collection there on page 38. That concludes Dark Horse. That was a good catalog.
Yeah, really solid one from them. Very impressive.
And let's see how IDW does. IDW showcasing the Rocketeer on their main cover.
Yeah, Regis O'Connor.
And they sure are showing us more of that. But first, Star Trek 60th Anniversary Special with a great cover here by, I assume this is the John Christopher cover that they're showing off here. But excellent cover of Picard blending into the red behind him. This celebrates 60 years of Star Trek with an anthology collecting all new stories from creators such as Brian Michael Bendis, Chris Cantwell,
Amazing.
David Walker, Ryan North, Megan Camarena, Mike McMahon, Derek Charm, Mike frickin' Allred, Laura Allred, and more. Congratulations on Star Trek for an amazing milestone here on page 6 of this catalog. I assume you'll be buying that.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. It's literally made for you.
Yes. And I already have all the issues of this, so I'm not gonna double dip.
Star Trek Voyager Homecoming Collection collects all 5 issues of that there on page 9. We also got a collection of Last Ronin issues 1 through 5 on page 10 by Eastman, Laird, and Tom Waltz. Artwork by Eastman, Bishop, and the Escorza brothers.
I think it also includes other one-shots too. I don't know if I could read this again. I don't know if I can get another version of this. I already had my heart broke the first time around.
You don't need to. You don't need to.
I have the single issues. I don't have a trade though.
They also have a collection of Last Ronin: The Lost Years by Eastman and Waltz with artwork by Ben Bishop and S.L. Gallant here on page 12. And
oh, hell yes.
A facsimile edition that makes perfect sense. A facsimile of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 1, the Mirage facsimile by Eastman and Laird.
I don't think they have reprinted this. I don't think IDW has ever printed this before. I don't remember it, and so I don't own it. I may own like a 5th printing of the first issue, but I don't remember if I have it or not. And I'm going to get both. I'm going to get the regular and the foil cover because I am a tool.
Well, plus, I mean, this will include everything that was in it. So, like, straight up facsimile there, page 14. Is
our friend still on this? No,
not as of this issue. No, I think he was back for issue 20, but I think Pharaoh Pei is going to be our artist here for this Jinlin Yang issue 21 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 300th issue special that just came out. Death becomes a thing of the past as the city that never dies begins in this very issue, page 15.
I'm a couple issues behind, but it's a really good series.
Yeah. I'll pick up a collection of the Aaron stuff at some point.
It's really good. I highly recommend it.
Nice. And speaking of highly recommended, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles X Godzilla by Tim Seeley and Pharaoh Pei.
I'm gonna have to get this because I looked through my issues and at some point I forgot to order issues 2 and 3. I have 1, 4, and 5. It is very frustrating. So I have to get this.
Well, get rid of those issues and get the collection, and that'll make it easier for you there on page 21.
Yes.
Yep.
I hate when that happens. It's so annoying.
And here we are. Here we are. Yep. By Kyle frickin' Baker.
Amazing.
Story and artwork. Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater presents Roar of the Worlds. War of the Worlds meets Godzilla. Come on.
This is, as the kids like to say, cinema.
Oh, my God. To get a luminary of the industry like Kyle Baker to do it.
I know. Oh, my God. I didn't even know Kyle Baker liked Godzilla. What an amazing... I can't wait. I can't wait to see his interiors.
This issue honestly just screams like Eisner bait to me. But in a very good way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yep. Page 22 for another wonderful Monsterpiece Theater outing. And then the second issue of Sonic X Godzilla, Nick Marino's epic, with artwork by Jack Lawrence to go along with it here. And once again, if you have not listened to our previous interview with Nick Marino, give it a shot. It was a very, very good time. And
by the way,
yeah.
I don't know if you saw any of the game showcases from the last week, but there's a new Sonic game coming out, and there is Godzilla DLC.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I was watching on Twitch with a bunch of people I know, and I was like, oh my God, my friend's writing this crossover in the comics.
That's funny.
And it was like, what? Huh? So I guess they had this in the works for quite a while. If they're doing video game releases.
Is it the Sonic racing game?
Yes.
Oh wow.
They're doing not only is there Godzilla DLC, there's Neon Genesis Evangelion DLC.
In a racing game?
I know. I don't get it either. I don't get it either. But as soon as I saw that trailer for that, I was like, wait, friend of the show, Nick Moreno's writing this. What? Huh?
That's funny. That's hilarious.
I know. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's just crazy.
Well, and this is going to have both Mothra and Mechagodzilla included in it as well. So, second issue of Sonic the Hedgehog X Godzilla. Remember, it's X Godzilla, or we just say Sonic the Hedgehog Godzilla and don't say the X. That's entirely up to you. On page 223. Ooh. And we get a full collection of the Twilight Zone stories for the fifth dimension. This is the first collection of this, collecting the first 5 issues of the Twilight Zone anthology that has been coming out on page 24. And we got some great creators involved with this, and that's definitely going to look great on anybody's shelf there. And here we are for issue 10. Let me prep myself. By the way, a story by Charles Soule and Rosemary Soule. So the Souls giving this one a go with art by Sean Peacock. Listen closely, but don't trust all that you hear, or you may fall victim to the same fate as our latest protagonists. Entering a fraternity basement is risky business on the best of days, but when our 2 young heroines venture down on a dare, they discover more than the remnants of past hazing rituals. They find a labyrinth, Cold War bunker, and it's not empty. Whispered secrets and paranoia of a bygone age live on in this forgotten place. Would you set them free, or trap them forever in the Twilight Zone? Page 29. Again, they're continuing to get some great creators to work on this series in glorious black and white there on page 29. The Rocketeer Infiltrator issue 2. Gabriel Hardman continuing to work on this series with Dean Kotz. Hardman on the writing chores there on page 32. And on we go into the world of Top Shelf. Home Time 12 Days by Campbell Wythe. Talking peaches, magic tea, frightening wildlife, and more. The award-winning fantasy epic graphic novel that critics called an intoxicating and visually stunning Australian Narnia is now collected into a single massive volume. If you want to get it all in one go, Home Time 12 Days by Campbell White, available for you there on page 40. And Cody, A Place to Call Home, with a friend and a bear. Watercolor artwork, headstrong young girl, and a huge bear with a gentle heart all return for an emotional new adventure in this stunning sequel by Jared Cullum there on page 42. Also available is the first Cody book. Once again, available for purchase. Very adorable artwork.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. We talked about this last episode as well, so just to note that issue 2 of Dan Abnett and Aaron Lopresti's modern-day Zorro, Zorro's Legacy, available on page 46. Great get by Alien Books.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Love me some Lopresti artwork. And the regular Zorro book by Howard Chaykin and Jorge Fornes, which is its 3rd issue there on page 47. That concludes the IDW catalog. And we will head over to Oni real quick. See if there's anything worthwhile in Oni. I continue to hate their logo. All right, moving on. Start off with a Matt Kint book. So that's a good start. here on page 2 with artwork by Brian Hurt with 2 T's. 12-issue mini, or maxi that is, called Fort Psycho. Welcome to Fort Psycho, the extreme action comic that only stops to reload. 10 years ago, the nation of Singapore sank into the Pacific Ocean. The underground terrorist network known as the Seven Seals took credit for the largest act of terror in human history. In the aftermath, the United Nations created a strike team of highly trained covert operatives with one mission: locate, identify, and eliminate the Seven Seals' secretive leader. The team's clandestine affairs were to always remain in the shadows until their final explosive confrontation resulted in a large-scale tragedy, too bloody to cover up and too tragic to ignore. That's your basic premise here in Fort Psycho. 12-issue mini, once again, by Matt Kint and Brian Hurt on page 2 of the Oni catalog.
Puzzling intrigues.
Got a one-shot here called Shell Shock by Julio Anta, John Arcudi, Benito Sereno, Michael Conrad, and Tom Fowler. Artwork by Tom Fowler, David Latham, and Sean Martinborough and Albert Montes. New warriors, new soldiers, same old price to pay. Kiss your rifle and swallow your fear, because EC Comics is rotating back into combat for the 21st century's first dose of two-fisted fury, with staggering new tales of war and fighting men in our next giant-size special. 56 pages of anthology here for $8.99 in the EC Bent on page 9. He's been doing a pretty good job with the EC license, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, this EC Revival is pretty cool.
Yep.
I'm into it.
And Matt Hodson and V. Van Marion bring us the other Teenage Ninja Turtles ripoff, Biker Mice from Mars, Scorch Number Mice from Mars. Yeah, this is not the first Biker Mice from Mars book that Oni has put out. All part of the Nacelleverse. But if you want another miniseries of Biker Mice from Mars, they have it for you here. Once again, that will be 4 issues, and that's on page 12. This is a really cool miniseries. We mentioned the first issue last month with Murd, but Mariko Tamaki and Brenda Hickey putting out Adventure Time quadruple feature, number 2 of 4. Each issue is going to be a different send-up of a different style of movie. And this one's clearly going to be a Marceline issue. And she's ready for the job. What job, you ask? Doesn't matter. In this town, everyone's an enemy. The only thing darker than the shadows of this classic 1970s crime thriller are the hearts of the crooks involved. The Ben Turner variant is everything. I love it to pieces. That's there on page 18. Yep. Destination Kills, 4th and final issue. So Trade Incoming by Joe Palmer there on page 20.
Oh, Cult of the Lamb. That's a video game series where you start a cult and you recruit people to your cult, and it has Twitch interactivity where your chat can become members of your cult.
Oh, interesting.
They've made a comic adaptation, and they've made 2 comic adaptations because this is volume 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I've seen it played, and it's quite enjoyable.
Nice. This will include the double-size specials, Cult of the Lamb Schism special, and Cult of the Lamb Last Sacrament special by Alex Packnadell and Troy Little there on page 22 of the Oni. Here's volume 2.
From Mars.
Yep. By Matt Hodson, volume 2, Biker Mice from Mars, collects issues 5 through 8 of that series there on page 23. And I believe that is going to conclude. Oh, you know what? Why not? We'll throw this out there. Choose Your Own Adventure, Space and Beyond by Jeremy Lambert and Danny Bolinho. Choose from 44 endings in this Choose Your Own Adventure graphic novel, adapted from R.A. Montgomery's classic Space and Beyond. So adapting an old school Choose Your Own Adventure with wonderful artwork by Danny Bolinho to go along with it. That's just very, very smart.
It's not the first time they've done it too, I think, because I bought a Choose Your Own Adventure not that long ago, and I'm pretty sure it was also from Oni. I don't remember though. It's here somewhere.
Wasn't there the Choose Your Own Adventure Lower Decks comic also?
Yeah, that was like last year or 2 years ago.
Right.
That won the Eisner, I think. That was
Yep.
that was Ryan North. Ryan
Yes, it
North
was.
before he got his lower decks run. His
Mhm.
full lower decks run.
Yep. That was right there on page 40, on the page 47 of that catalog. And now we are over to Boom. Marguerite Bennett brings us a new series for her, and it's called Gastronomique.
Oh, I saw this. This was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yep. I mean, Marguerite Bennett is one of the best writers in comics, and Helena Marcellus is along for the artwork on this. Terrere the cannibal may be compelled to eat, but Lady Charlotte is a cold-blooded spy compelled to hunt. A visceral game of cat and mouse begins as Lady Charlotte hunts down the elusive cannibal stalking the streets of France during the Revolution. And she'll stop at nothing to pursue her prey. So we get a little bit of almost like a Hannibal bent here with Gastronomique on page 2 of the Boom catalog by Marguerite Bennett. That is some very interesting artwork choices.
Yeah. All I can say is oui baguette, omelette du fromage.
Que a couper la fromage. We get a Power Rangers Green book by Paul Allor and Gustavo Vargas. He's the last Power Ranger on Earth, but that doesn't mean he's alone. The world we know is long gone. Tommy Oliver has put away his morpher and settled into a quiet life with his strange little family. But one day, an unexpected visitor from his past arrives on his doorstep and challenges to take up the hero's mantle one more time. Can he relive the past with his unexpected ally? Will the Green Power Ranger finally return? So very much an Old Man Logan style Power Rangers book here, with Power Rangers Green by Paul Allor and Gustavo Vargas on page 8. And I'm really digging the incentive cover there. That is very pretty.
Yeah. You know who would have loved to have adapted this? Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that yeah.
I know, man. I know. I hear you. I completely hear you.
Mm-hmm.
His movie that he was working on is finally going to wind up coming out.
Yeah, the one he did with Bat in the Sun.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, they're finally releasing that after finally getting a distributor.
Good for them.
Yep. Marguerite Bennett all over Boom. She's also got the ongoing new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series, which looks really damn good, and I'm looking forward to reading it. So Philip Sevi on the artwork chores there on page 19 for the 3rd issue. Facsimile edition of Clive Barker's The Horrors, which is absolutely a 100% facsimile edition because Boom put it out to begin with. It was Marvel, you can tell.
No, it's unobvious.
Yeah. Clive Barker created, obviously, Malcolm Smith and McNally Segal on the writing chores, Joe Rubenstein on the artwork. Clearly, they have the Horrors license now, and they're going to be putting this one back into print as a full facsimile on page 26. The most 90s-ass Marvel font you can possibly use. R.L. Stine also doing a comic for Boom, Stuff of Nightmares, The Cat in a Coffin by him and Matthew Dunn. Broke dad steals a valuable stuffed black cat from his mother's coffin, dumps her 3 real black cats at the pound, and gets hunted by the kind of bad luck you can't outrun. That's the story of Stuff of Nightmares here on page 28. If you didn't think cats were evil before, you sure will now. Sorry, cat lovers. Oh. Marvel at the name. Just marvel at it.
Vampirates.
Yep.
What a great name.
They're pirates and they're vampires.
Right.
So they're vampirates, you see.
Good job, Fred Valenti. You know what? Kudos from me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? From me.
From Youth. Page 35 for the 2nd issue of that. Let's see if there's anything else of note here. Lumberjanes Book 7 collects issues 73 through 75 of Lumberjanes, as well as the End of Summer, Farewell to Summer, Free Comic Book Day special. Fair and Square 2017, and Lumberjane's Campfire Songs, all collected in that on page 46. And that will conclude Boom. So we'll head back to the main book and see what we got. On we go to Dynamite. And Dynamite, taking full advantage of now having the Buffy license, are putting out an Angel book. And on page 293, they have it, and it's 48 pages for just $4.99, and it's written by the one and only Kelly Thompson, who's written some of my favorite comics in recent years. Her Black Widow series is still one of my favorite Marvel comics of the last, 5 or 6 years. That thing was great.
I mean, her Absolute Wonder Woman's incredible.
Oh, my God. Yeah. No, definitely the case. This features the first appearance of Angel and Buffy's new big bad, Leviathan. This completely follows on the heels of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer issue 1. Once the terrifying vampire Angelus, Angel was cursed for his crimes with the return of his soul. That soul eventually led him to Sunnydale and a tragic star-crossed affair with Buffy. Once the tragedy had run its course, Angel built himself a new life in L.A. as a supernatural detective helping the helpless. But things don't always go according to plan, and sometimes you do have to go home again. This is that story. So we pick things up right at the beginning here on page 293. Very sorry to hear about the passing of Anthony Stewart Head a couple days ago as we record this, by the way. That was very unexpected.
Three Buffy alums in 2 years or 3 years or whatever it is.
Yep. On a much happier note, Tailspin is back.
Audio.
Tailspin. Audio.
Tailspin.
This is set in the same universe as Darkwing Duck, as well it should be. And Amanda Dibert and Carlo Waro are behind this, as Hire for Hire is, hired to bring in Cape Suzette's newest resident, Sky Rider, but the job's interrupted by air pirates led by the dastardly Don Carnage. Can Baloo and Kit shake the pirates and get their mysterious passengers to safety, or is it curtains for the pilots of the Sea Duck? Amanda Dibert and Carlo Waro, the same team behind the Darkwing Duck series, are now behind this Tailspin series on page 299.
Ooh.
Yep. Brand new Gargoyles #1, as this is a new volume of this particular Gargoyles here by Greg Weisman and Gerardo Gamboni. 1,000 years ago, superstition in the sword ruled. It was a time of darkness, and the world of fear was the age of Gargoyles. We know.
Mm-hmm.
It is 1997. The Manhattan Clan has remembered their calling, being heroes to the helpless on the streets of New York. At the same time, the Gargoyles desperately search for clues to the whereabouts of their missing gargoyle egg, and they must hurry, for an ancient, all-powerful evil has awoken with a score to settle. So let's see where this one goes here with a brand new issue 1, and really digging the designs by Gerard Gamboni there. Captures the style, but also some of his own personality in there. That's just
little updates, slight updates here and there. Yeah.
Yep. Page 303. The team is reunited, but something feels off in Buffy the Vampire Slayer issue 2 on page 307 there. And we're getting a crossover between Vampirella and Red Sonja, and Vampirella versus Red Sonja, Red City, by Chuck Brown and Paolo H. Mel there on page 311. Also, a omnibus collection of Elvira's House of Mystery by a whole bunch of different creators there on page 312. The Ben 10 relaunch continues here by the original creators. Issue 4 of Ben 10 on page 316. And this frickin' Thundercats Silverhawks crossover continues. Remember the Silverhawks?
Part 13.
Yeah,
Part 14 of the epic crossover.
I believe it's going to be 20 issues total.
Ooh.
Yep. Don't really need that, but well, what are you going to do?
Someone wants it. It's just not my. I mean, you know, that's the thing. I was listening to another podcast talk about it, and it's like if you're an '80s kid, we have these. I don't know if you call them micro generations, but very specific. If you're born a specific year,
Yeah.
you love a certain cartoons, and you have no idea what other cartoons are. Like,
right.
Like take He-Man for example. Since Master of the Universe is out, I wasn't a big He-Man fan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I know a bunch of people who are like a year or two older than me love He-Man.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not part of my little niche.
Yeah. I loved Thundercats growing up. You know, that was my bag. But yeah, He-Man kind of missed me, but I was a Curcieri fan. I enjoyed it enough, and I went to see the movie, and we'll talk about it more on a later episode. But I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was just the right level of embracing it and also making fun of it because it's so freaking stupid. I think they did a pretty good job of Barbieing it up, basically. But meanwhile, here, the collection of the Nightmare Before Christmas, the Shiver of Christmas Town collections by Torin Grombeck and Idu Mena. This was the first original Nightmare Before Christmas stories in comics form. And this is the collection of that on page 326. All right. I think we're just about out of Dynamite territory, and we are indeed. And let's see what else we got. Got to do things a little bit quicker than usual here, and try to get as many things as possible because we still have Image to do, and it's
oh boy.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But Peep Show here, presenting the complete collection of Joe Matt's legendary autobiographical comic book series and masterpiece of modern humor. There on page 352 out of Fantagraphics, if you're interested in that sort of stuff. And as we move a little bit further down the road, I'm going to try to get to Image unless something catches me in between. I'll mention this all readers learn to read book. I Am a Superhero. This is a DC learn to read book on page 373. So if you want your youngins to get their superheroes early, Harper Alley has that for you there on page 373. They also have volume 3 of the Simpsons Comics Colossal Compendium. The creators are more than just Matt Groening. I wish they would stop listing just him and just say various. But this is the old Bongo stuff collected on page 380 here. All right. Skip past Hermes, and in we go to Image. And Image starting off strong here on page 1/409. Remender, with artwork by Steve Epting.
What a duo.
Yeah. Matt Hollinsworth also along for the artwork chores on this one. Meet Mike Denton, a dirtbag hitman, junkie, and absentee father who spent his life chasing the easy fix, drugs, cheap sex, and murder for money, while failing the one person who still believes he can be better, his daughter. Now on the eve of Black Noon, an ancient darkness that erases the light in all things, Mike has to drag himself out of the gutter, awaken a supernatural weapon powered only by love, and fight his way through the living embodiment of evil to save her. Nothing has ever sounded more Remender than those words.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah, this sounds great. This is absolutely worth checking out here on page 1.
Bonkers mix.
Oh my god, yeah. Like
it's also like very like 80s tribute. Kind of like I was thinking God, what was the name of that Nicolas Cage movie again?
I know the one. I know what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, the one we went to see at Alamo together.
Yes. Yeah.
The one with the axe and God, what was it?
Hold on. Nick Cage axe movie. Mandy.
Mandy. Yes, this is like Remender's Mandy.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's going to manage that, it's him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have this on page 7/415. Sean Murphy, yes. Simon Go, yes. Story and artwork by both. America, the not too distant future. No one knows how to drive except for him. As technology in America advanced, cities began creating the grid, a robotic transportation system that not only made cars obsolete, it made them illegal. But an outlaw named Clutch has no choice but to get behind the wheel one more time. What starts out as a race to save his granddaughter's life quickly turns into a rebellion against technology, fascism, and the future of a divided America. This sounds like a George Miller movie.
Yeah, it does. But instead of like being in the outback in the middle of nowhere, it's like urban. It's like super urban.
Yep. Last driver here. And the artwork too.
The artwork's gorgeous.
They're all splash pages essentially. Beautiful stuff there, all the way up to page 11 for anybody interested in the pages. Then we get a hardcover of Unfinished Tales by Brubaker and Phillips on page 12/418. All about Finnegan Blake, one of the most successful authors in the world, but he can't enjoy all the fame and fortune anymore because Finn is 10 years past his deadline in the final book of his epic fantasy series and has no hope of ever finishing it. George R. R. Martin, until an old friend
Blake
shows up
right faster.
with the perfect solution to his writer's block, but their pact soon turns dark as egos clash and old secrets emerge, leading Finn to wonder exactly what kind of deal he's made. I think it was with the devil. Unfinished Tales, page 12/420.
Right, Finnegan, right like the wind.
Thank you. Jason Aaron brings us Bug Wars. The backyard battlefield heats up, and it's even more brutal and bloodier than before. Bug Wars, The Coming of the War Doom, issue 1 of 8. Real Micronauts vibes from this, and in all the right ways. Welcome back to Bug Wars. 6 months after the yard ran red with insect blood, uneasy peace is shattered as ancient enemies rise from the woods. Corporate extermination forces close in, and Slade Slaymaker is dragged back into a brutal world where roach knights ride, squirrel armies gather, and survival means choosing your side in a war no human was meant to fight. Can't get better than that there.
Oh.
8-issue mini, Bug Wars, The Coming of the Wardom, on page 20/428. Iman Vellani.
Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel herself writing an Image comic. She can do more than just write her own character. Ms. Marvel, she can write other stuff too. Iman is a huge comic fan. Was long before she was ever cast as Ms. Marvel in the MCU, and I'm very glad that she is blossoming like this. Yes. Mariana Ignasi and Jordi Belair along for the artwork chores on this, two excellent creators. This is going to be good. All about a Pakistani Canadian girl. She has no experience with that. 19 years old in the year 1979, who stands on the cusp of adulthood, eager to experience the real world for the first time. With a head full of Hollywood dreams and a penchant for pulp novels, she ventures to California to connect with her estranged uncle, a middle-aged, semi-retired private eye who gained brief fame after marrying the starlet he was initially hired to find. But when Chachu's wife goes missing once again, the two are forced on an impromptu road trip to track her down, with Layla navigating young adulthood and Chachu confronting his own morality and regrets. Yeah, Iman Vellani bringing us some pulp Image action in 5-issue mini form here on page 23/431.
I'm definitely going to check that out. Whether or not it's in single or in whiffed, I don't know yet.
Look at the artwork. Look at
It is gorgeous. Look at that.
Oh, so damn good. Expressive, moody. The use of orange. Oh, man. All right. And I'll mention in passing here, 6-issue mini Death Vigil. This is the new Death Vigil. Smash Hit series is back for another 6-issue mini here by Stepan Sejic of the previous Death Vigil series. And this brings it back. Thor-esque action with a little bit more violence on page 436/28 of the Image catalog. Patrick Clinton, 4-issue mini, starts off here. A doomed march through Transylvania. As a farmhand, lives a simple life until village elders insist he set out for the capital with a dangerous stranger. Their mission? Kill the murderous viceroy of Transylvania. It's Dracula meets Berserk in this dark fantasy series by Patrick Kindlin and Livik Walyat. Regicide, number 1 of 4 on page 37/445.
Image is on fire this month.
Damn, man. Whole bunch of ones. New Doug Wagner.
Another one.
New Doug Wagner. Come on.
Come on.
Hoyt Silver on the artwork here. Look at that cover too. Damn, man. Oof. Yumi is in love. Yumi is lethal. When her MI6 boyfriend disappears, Yumi storms the agency, hacking their network, dismantling their operatives, and setting everything on fire. There she finds her first ally, a fully AI Lamborghini that's built less like a car and more like a WMD. So it's Knight Rider. Great. The anti-spy thriller begins here in Yumi 00X, number 1 of 4, by Doug frickin' Wagner on page 41/449.
Okay, I'm getting this too then. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, man.
Can we stop? I trying to slow down my singles reading.
25th issue of G.I. Joe by Joshua Williamson here. G.I. Joe versus Night Force. Everything's been leading to this extra-sized landmark issue as Joe battles Joe, friends become enemies, and the chart-topping team of Joshua Williamson and Tom Riley kick off the biggest G.I. Joe story in the Editron universe history. Page 47/455.
It's a jumping on point.
Yes, it is.
I don't want to jump on. Oh, damn it.
Yo!
I'm suffering here. Get the hell out of here.
Yo! What the heck?
What is... Oh, my God.
Page 49/457. All right. First, I'll just say the word Marguerite Bennett all over this previews.
Right.
Laura Braga, Gibran Ferdinand, Witchblade, Vampirella, one shot. Oversized
awesome
issue.
Too.
Oh, it looks great. 2 comics icons who must work together to battle a terror greater than themselves. Oh, man. Good job, Image. Page 48.
Seriously.
This is the first, and the next one's the first not number 1 or like milestone issue that we've gotten, but it starts a new arc of Hornsby and Halo by Peter Tomasi.
Yeah, it's freaking Peter Tomasi.
I know. Issue 15, Hornsby and Halo, The Dead Tones, Part 1, issue 15 of his series here on page 50/458. We also get The Road to Radiant Black number 50 beginning in Radiant Black issue 44 by Higgins and Clark, and artwork by Marcelo Costa on page 51/459. Second issue of Bad Rock by Mr. Liefeld. Art not by him on page 53/461. Oh, man.
This is when I miss working in comics the most. Because if I was still working in a comic book store or at a distributor, I would just be reading it nonstop, relentlessly every single day.
Yeah.
Because I would be possessed to do it because it was for work. And now, since it's not for work, I just don't read nearly as much.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. Meanwhile, can I once again point out that I'm just how happy I am that Capes continued past its original numbers, And
Yeah.
now Benito Cereno and Robert Kirkman with Mark Englert and Corey Walker as Bolt takes on Kid Thor. The former teammates settle their differences with fists. Plus, the next chapter of Ella Mental's super adventures continue from Kirkman and Walker. So Kirkman and Walker are on the backup, and Cereno and Englert are on the front. They're on page
It's nice
55.
to see the universe still have some life.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Page 463 there. I mean, and we still have Battle Beast. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
yep. Curse of Shirley Johnson, issue 7 here by Daniel Enriquez and Jonathan Glapion. That's on page 57/465. Also, issue 17 of Deadly Tales of Gunslinger Spawn by Mr. Palmiotti there on page 58/466. And issue 8 of Kieran Gillen's Die Loaded, which I believe will be 12 issues total there on page 59/467.
Do a power bomb.
Yes. And mind you, I want to point out this is a black and white reissue of Do a Powerbomb. So if you just wanted to see Dan Warren Johnson's luscious black and whites and inks, this collects issues 3 and 4 of Do a Powerbomb in one issue, and then issue 3 will culminate with issue 5 and 6. I'm hoping this is leading to a sequel, but they haven't announced it yet.
Me too.
Yeah. Page 60/468. Easily one of my favorite comics of the last 10 years. Mr. Hama is up to issue 331 as Snake Eyes takes on Snake Eyes. Page 65 there of G.I. Joe. Page 473 of the Lunar Catalog, that is. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. And a Hama Files edition of issue 109 of G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero, where they did their best to remove the Marvel logo with a Skybound logo. Page 66/474. And the fifth and final of the Ghost Machine official guidebook. Murd, don't worry, it's the fifth one. You don't have to buy any more variants. Even
The
though
last one.
Yeah, even though I know you're picking up the variants for all of these, this is the last one you got to worry about. Page 67 and 68 there. /476, I believe. This thing has so many pages that it's hard for my Adobe to catch up properly and tell me the right things. But end of the story arc of Battle Beast issue 12, and the battle is finally going to be over between him and Conquest. So, hot damn. Kirkman, Otley, and Leone, issue 12 there on page 72/4.
Man, I love this whole universe.
Oh my God, it's the best.
Catching up on Invincible, it just remind me how much I loved the comic series when it was coming out.
Can we once again just marvel at the fact that they brought Mask back?
I know. This is crazy.
Mobile
What a time to
Armored
be
Strike
alive.
Command. Yep. Issue 3 here by Dan Waters with Pipar and Perlugi Casalina there on page 77/485. Most other things are in mid-story or ongoing. So
We mentioned Knight Rider before. There's no Knight Rider series.
That's true. I think there was one for a very short time, but hasn't been in years. That's definitely true. Yeah.
Someone should take all those 80s TV shows and bring them back.
I mean, Dynamite's doing it slowly but surely, so I wouldn't be shocked if they eventually just wind up getting it. Wheeljack takes center stage here for Transformers issue 35. I also highly appreciate that Skybound has brought the corner box back.
Yes, I do love that. It's so cool.
Yeah. Page 92/500. And then issue 3 of the Transformers the Movie 40th Anniversary Edition by Ralph Macchio himself, with artwork by Don Perlin, Ian Aiken, Brian Garvey, and Nell Yomtov, finishing the reissue of the Transformers the Movie miniseries. Page 93/501.
Rodimus Prime. What a moment.
Oh yeah. And spoiler is going to show up in Void Rivals issue 33, not Stephanie Williams.
I was just gonna go there.
Yeah. I stopped you. Page 95/503. All right, let's head into the collections.
Supporting Norton.
Supporting Norton, baby. Battle Pug Cosmic Dogacy trade paperback. This collects picking right up where Battle Pug War on Christmas left off. The last Kid Mundian and his oversized companion find themselves in dreamlike worlds of demented danger. So plenty of Battle Pug action for you, plenty of Norton action, writing and artwork there on page 100/508. And then
I think I kickstarted that too.
Yeah, I think I missed out on that one actually. So I'll have to pick up the trade of this. This is right up your alley, by the way. Death Fight Forever.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. It's the eye-popping, face-melting action comedy your mama warned you about. Yeah, she doesn't warn me about anything.
5-issue
I
mini.
think I'm gonna check this out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep. Collects all 5 issues of it. It's a straight 80s action insanity here. Page 101/509. Remender and Eric Nguyen's gigantic, the complete series, Godzilla Meets the Truman Show, in this kaiju-sized superhero epic about fame, violence, and the prison of spectacle. I mean, yes.
Yeah. Man, it's too much.
I know.
No, stop draining my wallet, Dark Horse in IDW. Image.
Page 102/510 for that. All 5 issues of Gigantic collected in here. The Kick-Ass Compendium by Miller and Remender Jr. This collects basically everything that Miller and Remender Jr. worked on. Kick-Ass 1-8, Volume 1, 1-5, Volume 2, 1-6, Volume 3, and 1-8, Volume 4. All in one ginormous compendium. 720 pages of action there for only $40. Not bad at all.
That's not bad.
Yeah, on page 104/512. All right, and that is, I believe, going to finish us off here with Image, unless there's something on the bottom, and there is not. So let's point out a couple of indies and then make our way down into the rest of the Omega Book #1 here by James Patrick and Paulie Junqueira. The Omega Book has the Secrets of the Universe in it, all of them. And the priest Brady Parsons has just inherited pages of it from his father. But now everyone wants that knowledge. They'll do anything to get it. If the book falls into the wrong hands, it will end the world, no the universe. That is the premise of the Omega Book out of Mad Cave on page 541 of the Lunar. Oh, man.
Denver. Ooh, Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti.
Palmiotti and Gray. Yeah, back together for Denver #1 here. Art by Pierre Brito, also out of Mad Cave. In a near-future world drowned by rising oceans, Denver survives as one of the last tightly controlled safe zones on the planet where every resource is rationed and every citizen is monitored. Max Flynn, a veteran border officer struggling to protect his family under these unforgiving rules, is shattered when his wife is suddenly kidnapped. A mysterious enemy forces him to betray Denver from within or lose her forever. As Max assembles a trusted crew and descends into the city's underbelly, his desperate hunt threatens to expose the cracks in Denver's rigid order and ignite a reckoning that could end the last safe city on Earth. That is the premise behind Denver by 2 excellent creators, Palmiotti and Gray, here on page 545. And then we have Ray Fawkes writing a Phantom versus Sing Brotherhood one-shot here on page 547. The Phantom walks, evil dies. Bum. 20th issue of Dick Tracy there on page 547. Down we go, a little bit more into the book. And we get Speed Racer Volume 1 Deluxe Edition, David Paposi and David Tinto's Speed Racer. Get 152 pages of action here in a nice hardcover format for only $30 on page 564.
Ooh, Tesla.
Sergio Rossi and Giovanni Scarduella. Another unique book in Mad Cave's series of English print releases from Italian publisher Becco Gialli and Comixology Originals. This follows two friends and collaborators making a film about the famous inventor's life and debating between themselves the very merits of that reputation. Sardonic and honest, this graphic novel is a refreshing reflection on the extraordinary changes to modern culture since Tesla's era, as well as a fascinating insight into the turbulent life of the mad genius. Very fascinated by this one. I'm gonna have to earmark this for future purchase on page 566.
Nikola Tesla. Mad Cave.
And Barbarian Behind Bars. It's like, what happens if you stick Conan the Barbarian in the middle of New York City? Come on. Elliot Kalin and Andrea Moody are your creators behind this one on page 568. All right, get down a little bit more into here.
Get down on it.
Massive.
Get down on it.
Not a lot happening in Massive this month, so we're going to skip that. See if any indies catch our eye while we're in here, since obviously this is where all the massive indies live. But
I'm looking.
Yeah. Devil's Due presents Hack Slash Mercy Sparks. So get another Devil's Due book out. Devil's Due is not quite dead yet. And Josh Blaylock continues to put stuff out in the Devil's Due world. Most of the solicitation is available on page 603 there. And that's all part of the 25th anniversary of Devil's Due. You know, they had Buddy and Mr. Hell reissued last month for the first time in a while.
Oh,
yeah.
Heavy Metal Special.
Heavy Metal Magazine Special number 1, page 609 here. Whole bunch of different writers and artists involved with this. Undertakes its most ambitious project since the relaunch with its first annual special, exploring the concept of extreme futurism. So you get a whole bunch of stories all about the future here on page 609 in Heavy Metal Magazine Special number 1. Good stuff indeed. Love that Heavy Metal is back and hitting it on all cylinders. Artillery, that's how I will say it because that's how they say it. Volume 1, trade paperback here, collects the story by Jimmy Robinson in full. AI stole your art. We're going to steal it back. As humanity loses the ability to create art, the last gateway brings the Mona Lisa herself to life. So she grants 3 artists magical abilities that transform their art into weapons. It's like Captain Planet meets AI.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh man, page 621. I'm all for that.
Very much of the era. Like that's definitely a of this period of history comics. So. That would be cool to look at like 10 years from now too, after you get it.
Oh yeah, like whether or not it continues to hit on all cylinders or whether it's just that much more frightening. Murder Hobo issue 2. Just because I mentioned Murder Hobo last month, I'm going to mention it again because it's called Murder Hobo on page 628 by Joseph Schmalke and Ryan G. Brown. He's a hobo and he murders. That's the premise of the book.
Good enough. Enough for me.
Didn't make it up. Dark Age trade paperback, Don Hannenfield, Leonardo Rodriguez, Pop Mon, and Alex Nascimento. Previously solicited, not previously solicited through other distributors, which we saw a lot last month. But do check that out there on page 641. Post-apocalyptic Knight's Tale with a shocking twist. Okay. John Carpenter's Cathedral, originally by Mr. Carpenter, obviously, with art by Federico De Luca and Luis Garagna. This is Carpenter's first ever original graphic novel. So actually by John Carpenter. Like, not an adaptation. This is a John Carpenter graphic novel. In the middle of downtown LA, an abandoned cathedral stands, fenced in and ignored by the world around it. A gruesome murder, one late night pulls the structure into the spotlight, triggering a police investigation into the loss of one of their own. Lieutenant Christine Marks must enter the church in search of the monster that murdered her father. Every step takes them deeper into the belly of the church, revealing the mystery of an ancient evil imprisoned within. Kind of Silent Hilly from the general description here in John Carpenter's Cathedral. Page 654 for that, deep into the massive indies portion of the Lunar Catalog. Vampires Carmilla? Vampirus Carmilla. It's not Vampirilla, we swear.
Right.
This is reviving the iconic Warren illustrated horror magazine by replicating Warren's early page layouts and publishing new classic-styled work by original Warren artists, writers, and editors. Each issue is a highly collectible instant classic. Huh. Interesting. This is the 35th issue in that, on page 665 here. So, kind of reworking existing things into something new while also keeping the old. Pretty cool. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Anatomy out of Insight Editions.
Whoa!
Join April O'Neil as she studies the anatomical secrets behind the heroes in a half-shell and their mutant world with stunning cutaway illustrations and in-depth commentary. 100
Holy
plus,
tubular anatomy, dude.
100 plus original, exquisitely detailed anatomical cutaway illustrations combined with fascinating insights capture each character's unique power and personality here on page 672 out of Insight Editions. Cooking with Wolverine.
We're gonna make skewers, bub.
Yeah. Hey, kitty, care for a fruit? Page 678. If there is not a fruit skewer somewhere in this, then something's gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah, then they've dropped the ball so hard.
James Asmus actually is the co-writer on that. That's funny.
Oh, good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek Archive.
100 Objects and Stories from the Final Frontier here on page 680. And also the Star Trek Starfleet Tiny Book on page 681. Inspirational quotes and wisdom from the Final Frontier explore 60 years of Star Trek history and an all-new tiny format. Tiny, tiny, tiny. All right. Just about at...
Moving right along.
Yep, just about.
Loose and fancy free.
Ooh, okay. Let's see.
Comics the Magazine by
Comics the Magazine.
my friends at Prana.
Mm-hmm. Page 708 here. The Violence and Mayhem issue is here in issue 6 of Comics the Magazine. Look at some of the most exciting comic books hitting stands in the wildest way possible, with an exclusive look at Oni Press's upcoming Flux House line, where we talk with Matt Kint and Brian Hurt on their upcoming epic Fort Psycho.
Which we just saw.
Mm-hmm, indeed. So, issue 6 of Comics the Magazine, it's Wizard for the New Generation on page 708. With significantly less, who would you cast in this movie?
Yeah. I mean, it's really late in the game for that. We've already seen most of the big names get cast already.
Exactly. Yep. Ooh, actually, here we go. Page 729. The Escapades of Ponchi Panda by D.B. Spur. On newsprint, join Inquisitor Ponchi Panda as he navigates the dreamscape to rid its many realms of creatures who feed on human emotion known as nightmares. The Escapades of Ponchi Panda is a tale where dreams, folklore, and reality all collide into one epic saga. That's out of Prana Publisher on page 729. I'm gonna guess this was translated because the copy itself seems like it was translated.
Yeah, there's a little typo too, I think, in there somewhere.
Yeah, a whole bunch of exclamation apostrophes where there shouldn't be apostrophes.
Mm-hmm. None but love from my friends at Prana, though.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah, same here with Feral Star. Look at the artwork here on Feral Star on page 734. That is stunning.
Very 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
Weird alien sci-fi.
Can't go wrong with that. This will be in collection soon, and I think we're both going to wind up getting it.
I got the singles, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. The ring has become a slaughterhouse, and from Parts Unknown, issue 4 or 5. As he clears the squared circle with blood-soaked vengeance, Cindy and referee Ted make a gruesome choice to save a life, a choice with a vampiric price. Page 747 from Parts Unknown by Adriano Aragnello and Daniel Caval on the artwork chores. See if we can make ourselves the Titan at least. Although before we do, quick reference to the Golden Age classics, The Black Owl hardcover, Volume 1. This is some very, very old school comics here. Doug Danville was a wealthy New York playboy who decided to fight crime. That's never happened before. He later changed his costume and became the Black Owl. Doug got involved with Terry Dane, a private investigator, and true to comic book tradition, she greatly admired the Black Owl and belittled Doug Danville for being useless. Nevertheless, he continued fighting criminals as the Black Owl until he enlisted in the army and handed down his costume to Walt Walters, the father of Yank and Doodle. Oy vey. With a whole host of enemies, including Chief Skullface, wowzers, the Fox, Frankenstein, Funny Bone, the Great Mummy, the Tiger Lady, the Laughing Head, and the Terrible Midge. Hey there, Midge. Among others, the Black Owl has plenty to keep him busy and probably had to do overtime during the daytime hours. Originally solicited through Diamond, other distributors, Golden Age Classics, The Black Owl hardcover, Volume 1 on page 768. This sounds unhinged.
It does. But it's also like classic Golden Age.
Oh,
just come up with whatever the first thing that pops into your head. Print it, kid. Just put it out there, kid.
Yep. Love it. And then,
maybe we
Pre-Code Classics. Yeah, it sure is. White Indian hardcover, Volume 1 by Frank Frazetta. Classic Frank Frazetta, not so classic premise on page 72 here. That's about as much time as you need to spend on that. We're moving on. Yowzers, man.
I mean, I guess for historical preservation purposes, you release that, but still.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah, I don't.
PS Art Books does a good job of putting out a whole bunch of that stuff. So, Yep. All right, let's get past them and into. Here we are with the future is blank, 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 blank. I'm assuming that's a curse word. So it's either the future is shit or the future is fucked. But page 806 here by Fred Van Lente and Ennio Buffy. Wheeler isn't Wheeler anymore. Black Mountain, a collective of digital rodent and freebooters operating beyond the bleeding edge, infiltrated a machine intelligence-led cult. Their mysterious leader, Wheeler, went in too deep, now stripped of his identity and no longer recognizes the man he once was. What hope is there against an enemy who can tear apart your soul? Let's see. In the future is Beep by Fred Van Lente and Ennio Buffy on page 806.
Rocket ship time now. Nothing.
And not a lot there, so I think we're going to wind up past that.
That's crazy. That used to just be a comic book store.
I know, right?
Where has time gone, man?
Where has time gone? Time has gone into Hulk Teach, trade paperback, volume 2, original Marvel graphic novel by Jeffrey Brown. Bruce Banner, a.k.a. the Hulk, is a genius scientist and superhero whose rage-outs have led him to damage way too much public property and get assigned to teaching middle school. That premise, beautiful.
Beautiful.
No notes. Hulk Teach, Volume 2 by Jeffrey Brown, out of Scholastic on page 824. Ooh. Frostbite. Ian Boothby and Pia Guerra.
Yeah.
Nice. I follow Ian Boothby on Facebook. Ian Boothby and Pia Guerra. Actually, I follow both of them now that I think about it. Suspenseful YA graphic novel thriller where the winter chill isn't the only thing that bites. Siblings Jen and Dante are social media influencers and post videos of themselves doing extreme sports, but when they jump out of a helicopter to ski down a mountain, the stuff goes awry. Dante's ankle gets slashed, and the helicopter crew, who were supposed to be waiting at the bottom of the mountain, are nowhere to be found. As the confused teens seek answers, they meet up with some locals and soon find themselves flesh to fang with a group of frost vampires. Damn. Great premise here in Frostbite.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
sounds
all
interesting.
Yeah, and it's T for teens, so anybody, young or old should be able to enjoy it and check it out. So Frostbite here on page 825. And now down we go into the world of Titan. Titan's always got some good stuff. UFO Robot Grendizer by Xavier Dorison, a climactic sequel to a 50-year story. The sequel to Mazinger. Wow.
Yeah, I've recognized this guy.
Yeah. Wow.
There used to be a store in Avenue U, or I think it was a store or a law firm or whatever. They kept the Mazinger robot in the window, and I would always go by and be like, "What is that thing? That's so cool!"
Oh my
And
god!
I didn't know there was Mazinger.
Yeah, my buddy Brian Price, who used to run the Bad Anime Bad panel at anime conventions, used to rave about Mazinger as like one of his favorite both manga and anime. But this continues the franchise after all these years by Xavier Dorison and Dennis Barham on page 841. So good for Titan for continuing that after all these years. Artwork looks damn fine too. Oof! Oh my god, that cover! Wow.
Yeah, that's
cover B there.
Dennis Barham. Yeah.
New Tank Girl. Summer Love Sensation by Alan Martin and Jamie Hewlett. Complete standalone story, collecting all 4.5 episodes. Read the whole stupid story in one go. Forget the Odyssey. This is an idiocy of proportions here of Tank Girl on page 846. 35th anniversary summer special. Doctor Who is officially once again going on hiatus. But
I just saw the news.
Yeah.
Not that long ago.
Yep, but we get some Doctor Who comic book work here in Doctor Who Circuit Breaker #1 by Dulce Montoya and Dan Waters. So if you're interested in some further Doctor Who action, that's on page 851 there. Conan the Barbarian issue 34, the great Isad Ribic there, and a wraparound Isad Ribic cover for that matter as cover G on page 857. Conan and Valeria are pirates of the Red Brotherhood in this particular issue by Jim Zub. All right, I think that might do it for Titan, unless there's any
Blade
manga
Runner's
of
last
note.
issue.
Yep, Blade Runner Tokyo Nexus To Lose Is To Win, issue 404 there. Good call out there, Ref. Nancy Collins and Mariano Taibo on page 873. And Worst Man by Brandt and Stein. Professional worst man Radcliffe Rowley is hired by the mother of the bride and merciless tech mogul Valentina McElliott to stop the wedding of her youngest daughter. With the price of failure being his life and less than 32 hours to go till I do, Rad's ready to pull out every trick in his arsenal to stop the wedding and save his skin until he meets best man in Beefcake, Chris Kafka. Then it all goes from there. Worst Man on page 877. Oh, we got a manga here. Colory Color Criere by Kose Amano. The quiet island town of Onabori is hidden from the world by a Norin, a traditional curtain that veils it from the ordinary. Here lives Akka, a gentle, innocent girl living in a windmill coffee shop with her grandfather. Life flows peacefully until a chance encounter with a giant black cat draws her into a subtle, spellbinding journey. That's what you get with Colory Color Criere by Kozue Amano on page 885. 5. And I think that will finish us up for Titan. Let's head over to tomorrow's.
Ooh, Darwin Cook.
Yep, comic book creator issue 46, double-sized issue spotlighting Darwin Cook, will be available in stores on 10/7 on page 895. We also get Son of Monster Mash, the long-awaited sequel to Mark Voger's sold-out mega hit Monster Mash, available on page 896, going into everything from Bela Lugosi to Boris Karloff, Edgar Allan Poe, Hammer Studios, toys, memorabilia, comics, and more. All there for you, any horror fans, on page 896.
Sure to be a graveyard smash.
Oh, yeah. Here's the standout. Alter Ego 202. All about Larry Lieber. Original co-writer of Thor, Ant-Man, and Iron Man, not to mention The Human Torch, as well as writer-artist of Rawhide Kid. One of the most important scripters of the Silver and Marvel ages of comics, gets a full-issue retrospective conducted by Jesse Simon, Joe Simon's grandson, and Danny Fingeroff, with artwork by Jack Kirby, Don Heck, and others, plus FCA, Mr. Monster's Comic Crypt, and more. So, not just Stan. Larry had a lot to do with the Silver Age of comics, and I'm glad he's getting his due here in Alter Ego number 202 on 897. Here's the full solicit for that comic book creator on page 897, by the way. Spotlighting comic Darwin Cook. Features 2 interviews with Darwin, plus other Canucks. Richard Comley's History of Captain Canuck, Neil the Horse's Arn Saba, a profile of David Boswell of Red Fleming fame, plus Orb magazine founder James Wally, Dean Motter, Vortex comics publisher Bill Marks, and more. And this was previously solicited, but once again, we'll mention it as Murd's in it, the Crisis Companion, on page 898. And we'll hopefully be having the creator of this on the show sometime in the not too distant future. So stay tuned for that.
Cool.
Yep. All right.
That's it, right?
I think that's it, unless there's something hiding in Udon. Unless you're interested in Street Fighter, which I'm not. But Street Fighter Masters Jury number 1 on page 908, if you are.
I used to be, before they delayed all their goddamn books and ruined it for me.
Oh, I know. I hear you. Oh, you know what? Actually, okay. Why not? One more thing. Money Shot, the F of, by, you know what? Screw it. I already cursed in this episode. Silence your cell phones now. No, Money Shot, the fuck of, by Tim Seeley and Patton Oswalt, with Garth Graham on the artwork chores. It had to happen. In the grand tradition of Secret Wars, Crisis of Absolute Proportions, and Battle of the Network Stars comes a massive comic crossover. A strange force has returned after millennia to gather the finest champions from across the galaxy to compete in grand games. But there's no fighting here. No, this is the fuck-offs.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Visions, on page 915. That is a very good way to finish out this catalog. All right, so that is that.
Oof,
mission accomplished.
Another
Raph.
previews.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, speaking of finishing off, there's 2:42 left in the game, and the Spurs are only up 4.
Yes, I've been paying attention.
It's insane. It's insane. It's like, oh, the Knicks are down 25. Oh, nope, doesn't mean nothing to them.
No, look, hey, the game ain't over, and even if it's not, we stay fought. So that's what matters.
Listen. My mayor's Muslim. My bagel's Jewish. Don't take a dive. Knicks in 5.
No, my bagel's Jewish. Scallion and chives. Knicks in 5. There we go. Okay, and with that, credits. Oh, you know what? Before we do, Raph, where can they find you?
You can find me all over the internet. My username is Raph Does Stuff. Mainly, I am a Twitch streamer now. I stream a D&D game called Okora on the Edge every other Saturday, but we're starting to do Sundays now. So this coming Sunday, which would be the 13th, whatever that Sunday is.
Nice. All right,
we'll be playing again. The 14th. And so you can find me on Twitch, find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook.
And your Raph Does Stuff on most things, right?
On pretty much everything. There's very few things I'm not on, and if I am, it's because I don't use it anymore.
Excellent. Email address for Comic Timing is comictiming@gmail.com. Facebook.com/Comic Timing is where you can find us, and the Comic Timing fan group. Please join in over there as well. Find video versions of the show at youtube.com/@Comic Timing Podcast. We're on Blue Sky at Comic Timing. We're on Instagram at Comic Timing Podcast. And we're on Threads at Comic Timing Podcast as well. Check me out in most places that I am sci-fi in various forms. For Raph, for me, I'm reminding everybody out there that there's always time for comics, and there's always time for catching the last 2 minutes of this game. So, bye!